It's the NBA Draft 2025, the first round. We're going live, waiting for the action. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and Ivan Reitman is a genius. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We are available on all platforms, so you know what to do. You thumb up the live video, you thumb up the video if you're watching later, you double bang, you subscribe, you're an everyday, you're here every day. So this is the first round of the draft. I don't think I'm going to go live for the second round of the draft, but there's going to be a bunch of draft recap shows coming, Dynasty, rookie draft stuff coming, free agency stuff coming, all that in the next few days. So we'll do this whole live show for the first round. And then tomorrow there'll be, I don't know exactly, there'll be recap shows that are coming. I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. Welcome to everyone who is here in the chat. W's in the chat, F's in the chat, anything's in the chat. Drop them in. It is National Canoe Day, so if you're a little bit of a little man in a boat, maybe you're a canoe fan, I'm not sure, that's okay. Some of us can canoe, some of us can't, but what we can all do is talk about the NBA draft, which is happening right now. We are going to wait to see what, obviously what the picks are and all that sort of stuff. I will take chat questions. We'll go through things as they go down, and I hopefully won't be as irritating as some of the things you might see on the real broadcast. I have done recaps on all of the trades that have gone down. Porzingis to Atlanta, Drew Holiday, Anthony Simons swapping teams, CJ McCollum and Jordan Poole swapping teams, Kevin Durant to Houston. So I've already done those shows. We've talked about them at length. You can go and find those. All right. If anyone is going to be a clown in the chat, they will get booted. Kyle, that looks like you, my guy. I will say bye-bye to you. You are going in timeout for now. Come back with any silliness and you're done. Easy. I don't need stupidity in the chat. All right. Carly, good to have you in here. You are a huge supporter of the show, and it is always great to have you here, so that is good. All right. We're just waiting on these picks, which, of course, will be dragged out as per usual. Bring that. So this is how we'll display it. We've got the ticker going down the bottom there, which you can see, which I assume you can see. I hope you can see. That's what that should look like. Everything should be going okay from a real life perspective and a what do you call it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm just trying to fill in time until we get a pick that actually goes down. All right, let's maybe get some chat questions going in here, and let's see what you guys have got for me in the chat. If there's anything super interesting, let's have a look. Would you trade pick number 9 for Derek White if you were the Raptors? That's a good question, Singh. Probably. Actually, does Derek White make the Raptors good enough? He is like 30, 31 already, so I don't know. As much as I think that Derek White will probably have a better career than whoever the pick at number 9 is, he is 31. And the Raptors are obviously a little older than you think, and they're more expensive than you think. This would put them into a really, really tough spot money-wise. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to say no. BB, any players you're higher on the consensus? Yeah, the two that I'm definitely higher on the consensus are Thomas Sorba and Jace Richardson. I've got them as top 10 players. Most people don't. They're the two guys. Triple B, who's the sneaky fantasy? There is no such thing at this point, Triple B, because we don't know who they play for. And redraft fantasy value for rookies is often determined by what teams they go to and how free agency plays out and where the opportunity lies. So, very hard to know that at this point. Who's the best dynasty prospect in this draft not named Flagg, and what is their ceiling? It's still Harper to me, and I think Harper is a top, let's say, at a median outcome, he's a top 40 fantasy player. I would say median outcome. Best case is top 15. He's still really, really good. Is Okongwu still a top 50 dynasty asset? It's going to be really intriguing to see exactly what they do in Atlanta. I think that Porzingis and Okongwu can play together without any question whatsoever. The problem then is how does Jalen Johnson fit with those guys? How does he play the 3? He hasn't played much 3. I think that those 3 players are very clearly better than Zachary Vissache. I would say that your opportunity to buy a Onyeka Okongwu in a Dynasty League now is very low because people will be panicking. You saw a lot of RIP and Onyeka Okongwu breakout tweets yesterday because it started to happen. I don't think this just knocks it on the head. I still think he gets plenty of minutes and is useful enough as a top 100 player, at least in redraft. Top 50, I would probably push that back a little bit. But of course, Porzingis is 30. He's not going to stay healthy all the time. So I don't think that it's a death knell for Onyeka Okongwu at all, really. Are the Sixers trading their pick? I don't know. I think a lot of teams will take calls on their picks outside of the top 2 teams, but who knows if they are. What do you anticipate the Nets do with their 5 picks? Trade up for Ace? Well, I don't think they're going to take all of them. I don't think they're drafting or keeping all 5 guys. I can see 4. Trading up for Ace, they might not need to trade up for Ace. Ace Bailey's a really interesting player, and he clearly wants to be in Washington or Brooklyn because he wants a bad team where he can get a lot of shots, which is not a great sign, but I also understand that it's to try and maximize future earnings. I can see a trade happening not necessarily in the top 4, but maybe around 5 to 6, maybe. I don't know. It is really tough to try and figure out this draft. Is Cade top 5 next season? I doubt it. That is very high. I doubt it. Yeah. Okay. Is Brogdon ever going to play another NBA game? He will. Paprika Finessa, but will it be good? I don't know. How badly do I think Minnesota struggles if they lose Alexander Walker? He is an important player for them. I don't think it makes a huge difference, to be honest. Someone said that I've got the wrong team at 14. I do. You are correct. So I am just going to change that. It should have been the Spurs and not the Kings. Thank you for picking that up. We have made that adjustment. All right. Someone said that, who is this? Andy says that Ace Bailey threw out the first pitch at the Mets game. I think a trade is already in place. I think that's largely because he went to Rutgers and he's from that area. That's my understanding of why he threw that pitch out. I highly doubt that a trade has happened. How much is the artwork behind me? It's from a site called Displate, where they provide these artworks. So that one there is a Basquiat, and the other one is just a Nike one. I don't know. They were like $70, $80 each or something like that, maybe. How far do we let Embiid? I would not draft a Joel Embiid in the top 25. I won't draft him in the first 3 rounds. That's me. I won't do that. I won't take him there. What should the Lakers do with their pick? Who cares? It's pick 55. It's not going to make any impact whatsoever, really. Take whoever you think is the best player available at that point, and who could that be? No idea. It's just really a long way to go. Who would I hire as head coach if you were the Knicks? I like James Borrego as an option, and they're interviewing him. I like Taylor Jenkins as an option as well. And I think Michael Malone would be worthwhile, although Malone could be a bit stubborn, and then that leads to those similar problems as Thibodeau. Not the same, but they'd be the guys that I'd be looking at. What do I think the Wizards do next season? They're going to tank their asses off again, without really any question. How do I feel about Jalen Wells moving forward? I think he is a solid enough rotation piece who you wouldn't want to rely upon to become a premium starter. He was fine as a rookie, but I don't know that is he outperformed his draft spot without really any question, but I don't know that that means that he's this great long-term forward-facing option or anything along those lines. What happened to Detroit's draft capital? What do you mean? One of the problems with their rebuild, and obviously they turned it around this season, past unbelievably, is that old mate Troy Weaver accumulated no future assets. They actually owe first-round picks, which one of their first-round picks go this season because he was so bad at his job. So they were in a rebuild. They were one of the worst teams of all time, and they still didn't get future picks. So that's what happened. Let's see. Someone said, great question. Best spot for Kuminga if he moves. It's just a team where he would be a number 1 or number 2 usage guy. Brooklyn? That's probably honestly the best spot, and that's the only team with cap space, honestly. It just needs to be because again, I think John Kuminga doesn't play great team ball. I don't think he's a huge driver of winning, but he will score. And if you're in a spot where the usage is high, then he'll put up those numbers. And so it's probably Brooklyn. When does the draft start? It's still supposed to start at 8 p.m., but we're still waiting. Obviously, they start the broadcast and there's a blah, blah, blah. It's probably going to start in, another 20 minutes or so, but this is just a nice time to get some questions through here. But we're just waiting for, moves to go down. Islam Ahmed. That is just too broad of a question. What is the best move for the Warriors this offseason? It's broad. Like, I don't know. Like, it's very hard for me to focus in on all 30 teams and work out everyone's best move. I think they should try and get something back for John Kuminga, honestly, because I don't think that he's a necessity on their team. They need probably another ball handler, I would say, but we'll see where that goes. Should OKC trade away picks for either a star or to move up? Moving up, I don't really know that that's in their best interest. For a star, I think the way that it's very hard to fault anything that's like OKC's done, clearly. So what OKC should do is just continue to be patient, make the moves when they present, like trading for Alex Caruso, like signing Isaiah Hartenstein, complementary pieces at the right point. If an offer becomes available for a star level guy, you do it. But they don't need to be like super engaged at this point. I don't think. The Magic, the best team in the East this season with all the injuries. I don't think so. I think that we're talking about. I think they'll be high up there in the top 4. I think Atlanta could do that as well, but I think Cleveland is still up there. Martin Maldonado. I'm in basketball mode. That's Martin Maldonado. Is he better than Cooper Flagg? Yeah. Martin Maldonado, power hitting legend. And obviously, Ben. Good win today, though. Good win, yeah? We just snuck over the line. I'm sure Ben will be dropping some baseball references in on this show. Let it be known, growing out the hair is a good look. Yeah, it's a little scruffy, though. I'm not really sure exactly how to start styling it now as I'm growing it out. And, I'm going to have the big power alleys down the front and the donut at the back. We'll see. We'll see how we go. All right. Let's get picks going. I'm sure we're going to have the first one's obvious what's going to happen. We know how that draft pick is going to play out. I don't have the broadcast on in the background, so there you go. Why can't Halliburton draw free throws like other players his caliber? He's not as aggressive as a driver, which was part of the problem for him going through college as well. Part of the reason I was a little bit down on him, he wasn't a driver, he wasn't a free throw drawer. It's this part of the way that that his game is. Are there any Aussies in this draft in any? Who are the Aussies in this draft? Any good situations? Tyrese Proctor, Rocco Sagarski, Alex Tui. There's probably one other that I'm missing. Oh, Lachlan Aubrick. They're the guys. All right. Do not post fake shit in this chat or you will get muted. So you are getting muted. And if you do it again, you'll go again. All right. Okay. We are off and running. So you should put the broadcast on. Yeah, but what am I going to do? Watch that instead of talking here? Am I allowed to use the NBA draft soundbite? I actually don't know if I am, so I'm just not doing it. Go Padres. I agree. Rip City step. I agree. Why am I much lower on Rocco than ESPN? He really struggled this season in the NBL. And yeah. All right, so we're talking about the draft. Obviously, Cooper Flagg going at pick number 1. I don't think that is any surprise to anybody. We'll do the thing that we do here, of course. We might as well just have a look and put the stuff up. We know that he's gone number 1. We know that he's going to Dallas. We'll probably come back and do a probably do an ad in a sec. Can I sing the NBA draft board? Bite now. Sometimes in my head I get it confused between the NFL one and the NBA one. Dun 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 dun. Is that the NBA one or the NFL one? I don't even remember. Oh, okay. So Cooper Flagg going at pick number 1 to the Dallas Mavericks. Cool. No surprise there at all. All right. What else have we? Yeah, Flagg. Okay. He is going to be the number 1 dynasty prospect. Easy done. We know that is going to be the case. There is zero question about that. That's going to happen. It's no questions asked. That's it. Redraft, we're talking probably top 50, and I think he can actually be in that area. Whether he sticks there or not. I don't know. Or not whether he sticks there. He'll get drafted there. I think he'll be there. Is it a good pick or not? I don't know. Dynasty-wise, he's a top 5 prospect. He's got an unbelievably good fantasy game. Yeah, it wasn't Patrick. I thought it was the NFL. Thought it was the NFL sound. I can't think what the NBA one is. What is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Who cares? Cooper Flagg goes at number 1. We know that. All good. All right. Now we wait for pick 2, which I am very certain, although things can change, but I'm very certain this is going to be Dylan Harper. Not really too much of a question with that. Is James Jordan going to run with Bailey Dale or Bont? Surely it's going to be Bont. Surely. Bont cooked last week. I'm trying to find... You know what's interesting? Shams is not live tweeting the picks. That's interesting. All right. So we've got some confirmation here. I'm not sure if it's 100% real. That Dylan Harper is going at pick number 2. I mean, it is real because who else is going at pick number 2? Let's be honest. What's happened? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that this stuff doesn't all crash on me. That would be an L, wouldn't it? So Dylan Harper going at pick number 2. It looks like. Maybe I will try to bring the live feed up. Okay. Yeah, he has. Embiid of Joel. There is no Shams anything going on, which is very interesting. All right, I'm just making sure I can see everything I need to see here. Okay. All right. Shams is probably focused on trades. I'm sure he's been told don't do it. And remember, old mate Woj was just like, yeah, cool. Not worried about that. I'll be doing it. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Let's make some picks. How are you guys feeling about these rookies? Like, how many guys do you think will go inside the of fantasy drafts, like inside the top 100? I think we'll probably get 4, would be my guess, but it is going to depend a lot on where players go. I'll come back in a sec, but today's episode, it is brought to you by Wayfair. If you are looking to step into your own outdoor space, you want to make it like it's a personal oasis. If you want to update your patio this season, Wayfair has made it easy to turn it into a space that feels like yours, comfortable, stylish, and ready for summer. It's got everything you need to level up your outdoor space. Conversation sets, outdoor bars, fire pits, hot tubs, gazebos, and even the perfect string lights to set the vibe. When you're out there, you might be sitting there with entertaining friends. You might be out there contemplating life, thinking, setting up your Dynasty draft list. I don't know, but Wayfair has everything you need. And plus, the delivery on all the items is free, it's fast, and it's totally hassle-free. So don't wait. Make your outdoor space your dream oasis today with Wayfair and enjoy it all summer long. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop a huge outdoor selection. That is wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. All right, we do have the confirmation now on Dylan Harper going at pick number 2. Absolutely no surprise with any of that stuff. Now is where the big news comes in, doesn't it? Like, this is the big one we need to wait on to see exactly what it is that Philadelphia does. What is your pick? I do think it is going to be Edgecombe that goes in this spot. And Harper is another Filipino. Is he? Really, Alec? I did not know that. All right. Timmy, statistically, you've said maybe 4 or 5 rookies getting top 100 fantasy vote. Yeah, it depends. It's between 3 to 6, depending on the strength of the draft class. You're guessing it goes up with the new CBA. Well, hard to judge because, obviously last year was a bad draft class, and we had I think even we had one guy that went in the top 100. So that makes it a little bit harder. But it is possible, yeah, that we have more of those. All right, now we start to get interesting. Now we start to get wild. So we've got Dylan Harper going at 2 to the Spurs. New Filipino legend. There's a lot of them, man. So many Jared McCain, Jalen Green, Jordan Clarkson, Dylan Harper. There's probably more of them as well. Okay. Now we just wait for the next one. Yeah, it's okay. So the Harper thing, it's going to be tough for him early on. I think that Flagg, I don't know that he'll be overdrafted for redraft leagues. I think Harper will be, because you're going to have Fox, you're going to have Wemby, you are going to have Castle, who needs a lot of shots to actually do anything useful. And where does Harper fit? I think it will be very rough for Dylan Harper early on, like very rough. And that will make it obviously a little bit harder to get excited about him from a fantasy point of view, because it's a weird spot on that team, and that's the case with some of these other guys. Like the Philadelphia one at pick 3, like what's going to happen there? Winters just said that Washington wants Bailey. Yeah, Washington and Brooklyn have been really in on Ace Bailey. I can see Ace Bailey making sense in Washington. I don't think he's going to be a very good player, but that team could be an incredibly weird squad. Incredibly weird. Shams not tipping picks is happening, I guess. You're worried that Harper gets shunted in a low usage role, nothing to pass, only got... Yeah, I'm certain that's almost going to be the case, because Castle, Fox, and Wemby are going to have all the usage. Even though Harper should be prioritized over... Honestly, I'd like to prioritize him over Fox, but especially over Castle. It's going to be very... it's going to be intriguing to see how it works. I think it's going to be quite bad from Harper year one. He might not play 30 minutes. The shooting will be rough. He won't get many ball handling opportunities with those other guys there. But that's one of those things that when you've got to look at long-term dynasty value. Charles says, can you explain the hype for Harper? All right. He seems like a smallish guard who can't really shoot threes. He's not that small. He's like 6'4", 6'5" point guard. He's not small. He is an incredibly smart player who has always impacted winning. He is a very good passer. The shooting, yes, is a problem. I think defensively he is going to be good, but he is a vision player. He is a guy that can be a high usage guy and can score and can take over games and can control games. And that sort of stuff, that level of feel that he has is very different to say like on his teammate. Steph Castle, even De'Aaron Fox's feel coming out of college, very different to Dylan Harper. He's got passing vision. He's not like Luka or Jokic in terms of passing, but he's a very high level passer. The shooting is a little bit iffy, but I do think that he's able to do a lot of other stuff that is going to... I think the shooting will be fine, by the way. I think it'll come up, but I don't think he's small. I think he's got really solid size, enough to be able to have the vision to see over people and create advantages for his teammates. I think he's good. Is VJ the most athletic guy in the draft? I don't know. I don't know how we judge that. I think he could be close to that. I could see that being the case, but I don't know exactly. It is hard to know. Just waiting to see. Flagg will wear number 32. It's an interesting number. Didn't know that he'd do that, but it's okay. Now, all right, come on, Philadelphia. Let's make a pick here. Sounds like Killian Hayes. He's a lot stronger than Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes' shooting numbers were worse. Way worse than Dylan Harper's. Correct, Andy. He's just... It's so hard to explain everything about Dylan Harper, but it's just like whatever team he's on, the team sort of absorbs his skills or his style, and he just orchestrates everything. And he's smart. It's nuanced little things, which I just call feel. And I think the shooting will be okay. It's a little rough. It'll take time. But it's just the vision, the angles, defensively, I think he'll be okay, all that sort of stuff. What I think Kon's upside is he a high floor, low ceiling player? I think he's a high floor, high ceiling player. He might not get to that ceiling, but the idea of like these white guys is like, okay, he shoots and he's high floor, low ceiling because he's gritty and hard worker, which of course, there's a lot of tropes involved in that. I think that his ceiling is actually pretty high. I think, we talk about, people would have said the same thing with Gordon Hayward, and he actually hit a pretty high ceiling. I'm not saying that Kon is Gordon Hayward, but I do think that it is, he's a guy, Kon Knueppel, that can defend okay. He's not as unathletic as you would think because he is white. He is a very good shooter. He is a strong passer. I think that I've got him number 3 on my board, and there you go. What's influencing my doubtful thoughts around Will Riley? It is hard on that Illinois team to judge. It's more that like the shooting is rough. I don't really know what else he does. I don't know that there's any passing strength there. It's just there's a few things in the statistical profile for him and watching where the size is good. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. There's just a lot that I don't really love. How much is Dylan paying you? I wish he was paying me something, but he's not. So there you go. I wish he was. All right. It is Philadelphia making their pick. It is VJ Edgecombe. So that is sort of as we expected, not Ace Bailey going to the Sixers. VJ is part of the reason I like VJ Edgecombe in Philadelphia is that you've got Tyrese Maxey, obviously. You've got Jared McCain, but those two as a pairing in the backcourt is just, it's not good, right? That's no defense. Edgecombe is bigger. He's more athletic. He can defend. He can play passing lanes. I don't know. The steal rate for him is absolutely elite, VJ Edgecombe, which is, clearly useful for fantasy. But it doesn't always translate across in terms of just general steals in the NBA. But what it does mean is the player usually has smarts. They usually know what they're doing. And that's sort of where I'm at with VJ. So I'm excited to see where this goes. This kind of pushes McCain out, Nicholas Dishon says. I don't know that it pushes McCain out, but it does limit, because the pairing of Maxey and Edgecombe is a much better fit than Maxey and McCain. And McCain is someone who can thrive in certain roles, but you're right. It is going to make it harder for McCain and Maxey to play together. Edgecombe, I don't think will be a super interesting player for fantasy in year one. I don't think that he'll be. I don't think he'll be a super interesting player in year one. VJ, just because of the team around him. If Embiid plays and George is there and Maxey's there, he just never do anything. I agree with you, Will Dog, that Jared McCain is a sixth man type anyway. All right, Shams is now back tweeting picks. Pick 3 is Philadelphia. VJ Edgecombe. All right. A little bit late on it, but all right. So I don't really know what's going on there. Shams making picks, making tweets. I don't know. Whatever you need to do, Shammy, get it done. All right. We'll come back in a sec. Today's episode is also brought to you by the big fellas over at Skims. If you've ever wanted to create... Oh, no, hang on. I can't do that, Reed. When I found out that Skims was making underwear for men, well, I was excited because I'd seen Skims. I have seen the products in my house. And I wanted to get the comfort. I wanted to get the feel. I wanted to know the luxury that is Skims and underwear. So I got some. And they are honestly some of the best undies you will ever get. It's fit, it's comfort. We've got stuff as men that maybe needs to be caressed or looked after in the correct way. And not all underwear does that. Skims does. They've got their briefs, the boxer briefs, the regular boxers, many colors, styles, lengths, sizes. It's all there. And Skims provides that great comfort. It's like a luxury feel. And you're not going to be picking stuff out of your butt all day. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com and let them know that we sent you. After you place an order, select podcast in the survey and select this show in the drop-down menu that follows. All right, we are looking now at old mates, the Charlotte Hornets. Obviously, if you want a recap of things, it's just as we expected. You can see the ticker down below on the live show here. Number 1 was Cooper Flagg. Number 2, Dylan Harper to the Spurs. Number 3, VJ Edgecombe to the Sixers. Now, Charlotte. Edgecombe, I think, would have worked really well there. I would take Knueppel if I was them in this position. I don't know what they do. Oh, Cheese Fowler brings up another interesting point here. Because we're talking about Philadelphia. And he's like, do you think that the Sixers try to prioritize Grimes or maybe they're okay with getting outbid for him? That's another thing. Like, there's Grimes there. Now, Grimes can play the 3, but Paul George plays the 3. And Kelly Oubre's around. Although Oubre maybe won't be around. I would think that having Grimes and how he played, you bring him back as a restricted free agent. If you have to figure out the minutes, you figure them out. And you trade guys later on. Having more players and better players is a good thing. It is going to be impossible for Grimes to have that same sort of value that he had, given the fact that Edgecombe might be a bust. That's possible. He might not do anything. So there still could be opportunities there for old mate Grimes to have minutes. But I think Grimes honestly was a better fit than McCain next to Maxey anyway. And it's hard to just judge a lot of what Grimes did because so much of what he did happened in games where everybody was out. So I'm certain they'll bring him back because it's just a smart asset play to do that. Even if someone outbids, you work on sign and whatever you do, right? You bring him back because if someone wants to bid on him, you match it and then you make trades and you maneuver it around because that is a very good player who could fetch something for another team. That's what I think. That's what I would be doing anyway. I had Kon Knueppel at number 3 on my board. Obviously, he is still available. We will see exactly what they do. I'm going to bring my board up for me to see here. Yeah, so Kon Knueppel and Tre Johnson I've got in this next tier. We'll see exactly how they do it. Knueppel would fit perfectly. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Kon Knueppel, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams. Now, you don't want to commit to Miles Bridges long term. Mark Williams, who knows whether he'll be there, but to me, Knueppel is... I wouldn't want Tre Johnson and LaMelo Ball playing together. As much as I do think Tre is good, that's not a smart move to me. Knueppel is the one that I would want here. Whether he goes there or not, I don't know. A Ball Knueppel backcourt is funny, but it's also, I think, really useful or in an NBA point of view. Okay. Someone said I think the Hornets make a trade. I don't know. I don't think they do. Oh, we've got confirmation here that it will be Kon Knueppel. So that's exactly how my last mock went as well, which is not based. That was my mock based not on intel necessarily, but on what I would do. And so far, the NBA has followed suit. All right, there we go. That is interesting. So Kon Knueppel going to Charlotte. I like it. Now, again, there are a lot of usage players in Charlotte that might make it a little bit difficult early on for Knueppel to have value, but this is one of those ones that in Dynasty, I think the spot here is really good. I think he works really well with Brandon Miller and with LaMelo. It might be a little bit tough early on just because of fit and young guy, all that sort of stuff. But I do think that Knueppel is obviously a really strong Dynasty guy. And I'm excited to see exactly where this goes. So pick 4, Charlotte, Kon Knueppel. I like it. That is what I would have done. So of course I like it. If you're going to do what I want to do, that's what we do. That's how I like it. All right. Just sort of waiting. Yeah. All right. Another source confirming it about Kon Knueppel. So that is confirmed. Kon Knueppel, pick 4, Charlotte, bang on for my mock draft so far. Next, I had Tre Johnson going to the Jazz. I don't think he'll go there. I think that Tre Johnson will work in Utah. I think Ace Bailey would be an interesting pick for Utah. I would hate Jeremiah Fears at this spot. I hope they don't do that. I would go with Tre. I can understand going with Ace. Was your mock a big board BPA? Well, I did I did a big board a couple of days before, which is slightly different to the mock because the mock took into consideration team needs and the trajectory of the team and what I thought the player made sense with. The big board is just this is the order that I think the players are in terms of how good they are. It was similar. It wasn't me predicting what the NBA would do because I don't have those sources, so why would I just lie out of my ass to try and pretend that? When you can find that from other guys who talk to agents, scouts, teams. It was what I would do in the position of those GMs to make those picks. And it was slightly different to the big board because, again, team need and all that sort of stuff was taken into consideration. But my top 4 picks have been exactly what has happened. That's interesting. It's an interesting development for me. All right. Bulls are rumored to be looking to trade Lonzo or Kobe White. Yeah. Shams is tweeting stuff really late, cheese fella. For some reason. He just tweeted it now, by the way, for Kon Knueppel. So look, I won't tell you that something's happening unless where I get the information from or what I see is reliable. All right. So there you go. Knueppel could easily look. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to hit a lot of threes. I think he's going to be able to get a lot of minutes, honestly, because who else is unless there's someone I'm forgetting, but yeah, Miller Ball, Knueppel, Bridges, Williams. Who am I missing on that team? I don't think there's anyone I'm missing. That seems to be the group that you want. Yeah. I don't, yeah. Is Taylor Hendricks having a comeback season? Well, he'll definitely be coming back, won't he? But, yeah, he missed a whole year of development in year 2. He'll be a little bit behind the 8 ball. Filipowski was solid last season. I still think Hendricks is a better option. But they've got some interesting decisions with Filipowski. Collins is going to be back. They should be moving on from him. Markkanen's there. I don't know what they're going to do. So I don't think that Hendricks is going to be a breakout guy, but it could easily happen. Just there's a lot of bodies around in that spot. Okay, so we're at 5. It's Utah. All right, chat. What do you guys think as who should Utah be taking in this spot? Maybe I'll put it that way. Who do you think that Utah should be going with at pick number 5? What would you do as the Utah Jazz in this spot? Because you write Josh out. What's that mean? Ace to Utah, maybe possible. Still waiting to see if we hear any. I'm just looking around, see what news I can get. Should I pretend that I'm getting text in? I've just got a message here. I don't. Okay. Yeah, look, to me, I don't think this makes the Hornets good, this pick with Knueppel. But he's a great fit. Miller can't be left out of their rotation. Brandon Miller? No, he's not. Is that who you mean? I don't know what you're talking about there. He definitely will not be left out of the rotation. All right, let's keep looking. Any more info? See some people here talking about Kon Knueppel. Like, this is Brian Schroeder, who wasn't on the show this year, but he's been on the show plenty of times in the past, talking about a ceiling of Kon Knueppel, and he had Desmond Bain or Malcolm Brogdon, which is an unbelievably solid NBA player. They're different sort of guys. I actually think the ceiling is, like, those guys never made an All-Star. I think Knueppel can be an All-Star. I think the ceiling's a little higher than that. Spears does have a high ceiling. I think his floor is horrifically low, to be honest. The shooting is a worry. The size and strength is a worry. Defensively, he's horrendous. The youth, he's really young. I like it. But, it's a worry to me. His downside. Tre or Fears to add to their guard logjam. Do you think they've got a guard logjam? I don't think they do. Colin Sexton, absolutely, it does not matter. Jordan Clarkson, the man on the street, Jordanclarkson, does not matter at all. Isaiah Collier was fine, does not matter. Keontae George, guess what? Does not matter. So you are at the Jazz. You do not have a foundational piece whatsoever. It does not matter. If you think Tre Johnson's the best player, you draft him. Those other guys are completely irrelevant. They're completely irrelevant. The reason the Jazz have Colin Sexton is because the Cavs went, we don't care that we've got Colin Sexton, we're drafting Darius Garland. Yeah? You don't care about those guys. You got the order wrong. Raptors pick is 9, not 10. Do I? Let me have a look. No, I have the Raptors pick as a 9. 9 dot Toronto, 10 dot Phoenix. I've got it right. W me. Fears feels like a new Tre Mann. No, I think he's a better driver than Tre Mann. He's more point guard than Tre Mann. Do I think that Cooper Flagg finishes top 100? Yeah. Without question, he'll be top 100. I think he's going to be top 50. I think he's got an outside shot of top 40 as a rookie, honestly. He is... what's his name? Cooper Flagg has a chance to, honestly, like, he can be an above-average contributor in points, threes, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, field goals, free throws, even as a rookie. I don't think he'll do it as a rookie, but he could. Which, if you do that, you're a top 20 guy, right? That is how good I think he's going to be fantasy-wise. And I'm not usually big on talking up rookies, and I don't do it just out of the blue. Like, obviously, I did it with Victor, and that worked, right? And you do it with the ones who you think are going to be that good. And I think Flagg is. And I think next year, we'll do it again with Boozer, who's also going to be pretty similar. Let's get some idea what pick 5 is. Be very interesting. Here we go. Looks like Ace Bailey. Looks like Ace Bailey to the Jazz at 5, which is interesting. He wouldn't work out for them. All right. Okay. Okay, take him. Now, Bailey, I what the interesting thing here is, I guess, with Bailey is where do we put him? Because Markkanen's been there 3, John Collins is there, Kessler's there, Hendricks is there, Filipowski is there. You would think that he would start day 1, but that would mean Bailey, Markkanen, Kessler, and then Collins, Hendricks all off the bench. He will get usage, but it won't be super, super high usage. It won't be super high usage. So, yeah. That's an interesting one. But that one, by the way, that Bailey pick to Utah, I'm like 90% on that of what I just said. Yeah, there we go. Confirmed. Thank you, Shams. Confirmed. Ace Bailey, Utah. They need to make some deals. Austin Ainge needs to get going with this. He needs to make some deals. There is too much going on at the moment. We need some deals. Now, I think Bailey will be pretty bad for fantasy. He will be, much like Dylan Harper, massively overdrafted. Massively overdrafted. So, yeah, because he doesn't rebound well, he doesn't pass, he doesn't get steals, he doesn't get block shots, he blocked shots in college, he won't do that in the NBA. There is a lot that will make him, significantly overdrafted here, I think. Why did that... Oh, that was annoying. Sorry, that Jazz thing should have stayed up. I don't know why it did not. My bad. That's because I updated the logo and forgot to do it. That's okay. All right. Ace to the Jazz. That I wouldn't have done that. I had him a little bit lower than that. But now we move on to pick 6 as I try to get this Jazz logo thing to stay up. That's not what I wanted. Just trying to deal with my tech issues here. There we go. W. All right, so Ace Bailey going to the Jazz. Question coming in here says, does Ace get free reign on the Jazz? No. Larry Markkanen is there. These other guys are still there. So absolutely not. Absolutely not. So the Jazz... Yeah, Will Dog, he putting up high usage and low efficiency in March, yes. And remember, Austin Age said things where it can be easily misinterpreted. The things that he said was, we will not be manipulating minutes in lineups again. He didn't say they won't be tanking. He didn't say they won't be trading guys away. He didn't say they won't be fake injuring guys. He said, we will not manipulate minutes in lineups. Just remember that. Because the idea is, well, the Jazz are competing now, right? And they can compete. They've got a team that's okay, not compete. They could at least make noise around the play-in. They've got a very good coach and a lot of good players. But what he said was very deliberate. We will not manipulate minutes in-game. That's what he said. We will not manipulate lineups, is what he said. We will not sit guys every second game like that. We'll either just fake injure them all the way through or trade them away. It does not mean that they're going to be going for it, balls to the wall. Be very clear on those comments that were made. Because it's not just as simple as, we're not tanking. That's not what they said. Now it's pick 6. This is the Washington Wizards. Now, I would, if I was them, take Tre Johnson. They got rid of Jordan Poole. Tre Johnson and Jordan Poole would have been a comical backcourt. Yes, CJ is there. Middleton is there. There's a million young guys. Bob Carrington is there. You take... I would... Tre Johnson and Bob Carrington, I like as a combination. That is what I would do. Do I still believe Markkanen will be there in 2026? I've got no idea. They should be looking to move on from him. But that's what I mean. They need to make a lot of moves. So the way things currently stand, it is a terrible fantasy situation for Ace Bailey, as it stands. But it might open up later. But also, he's not a good fantasy player at this point in his career, and his statistical translations are actually pretty bad as well. So, again, be aware of that. All right. The Jazz are keeping Ace Bailey. They're not trading him. So there you go. We got that news in as well. Worst field goal percentage in year 1, Harper or Bailey? Oh, Nick, that's a good question, man. I think they'll both be hovering around that 42 mark. We'll see how I project it out. Honestly, it's probably Harper. It's probably Harper, but yeah. No trade. Again, we're confirming that once more. Ace Bailey is staying with the Jazz. For now, at least. The Jazz have got to pick a lane. The Jazz have picked a lane. they're going to be bad. Again, they want AJ DeBancer in this upcoming draft. Despite what they said, I still believe they will be bad. And I don't think they could be the Chicago Bulls and win 33 games. But that's useless. Take a center to move Sarr to power forward. Sarr's a center. I don't think you need to worry about that. But there's a lot of options here at this spot for them. I would take Tre Johnson. To me, he's the clear BPA at this spot. But what else could we do? Like Derek Queen works with Sarr. I don't love Derek Queen there, but I'm not against it. I don't think Thomas Sorber could work as well, but him and Sarr doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I wouldn't take Essengay. To me, it has to be Tre Johnson. The other one, I wouldn't take Malawach. Queen or Johnson would be the two that I look to here. We'll see where they go. Was the Sixers pick the correct pick? It's a good question, Tim. That is what I did in my last mock. Picked VJ there. I could easily have seen Knueppel there. To me, I debated back and forth on that. Actually, I had Knueppel higher on my big board than I had VJ Edgecombe, but I did choose Edgecombe at 3. So, correct pick? Yes, I think so. Okay. See if we've got any more little moves coming in for Washington. Nothing at this point. You can see the recap if you are watching this. If you're listening after the fact, it's Flagg 1, Harper 2, Edgecombe 3, 4 is Knueppel, 5 is Ace Bailey. Bailey is... I ended up having Ace Bailey at number 8 on my big board. So, that's, the other 4 I had in my top 4. But I did have Bailey in that tier 4, and the only guy I've got left in tier 3 is Tre Johnson. Let's see, what else have we got going on here? Anyone heard, and I'm sure you haven't because you're listening to me, Kendrick Perkins said anything stupid? I'm sure he has. What about the Sixers tanking? What about them? They're not tanking. What do you mean? Nick, give me a follow-up. What do you mean about that? VJ won't get enough minutes to make a difference. This season, I agree, Alex. He'll probably be a 26-minute player at best. He won't be a draftable 12-team league guy. Harper will get drafted, but he won't be a draftable 12-team league guy. Knueppel will be a 12-team league draftable guy, but I think he'll be very iffy early on. Ace Bailey will be in, top 250 for the first 4 months, Ace Bailey. So, this draft is weird, and we knew this when the lottery happened, when a lot of teams jumped up. That a lot of these teams picking these guys, that's not the perfect fantasy situation. The ones are going to come with just come on Malawach, find a 28-minute role. Because then he's an unbelievable fantasy option. Just waiting if I got any more. Okay. Tre Johnson. It is Tre Johnson at pick number 6. I do like that. Tre Johnson at pick number 6 to the Washington Wizards. And weirdly enough, this is going to be a weird team because of the stupid trades they've made. Well, not even stupid. The trades that they've made that are obviously future focused without being, providing great value at this point. Tre Johnson has a really strong argument to be the best volume shooter in this draft. I don't know that he can be a point guard, but 29 usage, he averaged 21 points per 36 minutes. He shot 40% from 3 on that volume. 3 assists, he's not great. Playing with Bub Carrington will work. I do believe he'll be fine playing alongside Bub. And I think it's the pick you got to make. But again, they're going to have CJ, Middleton, Smart, Carrington. He will not play big minutes early on. He'd be one of those guys where you got to hold him and stash him and wait. It's just not, all that stuff is not going to happen immediately. So just, again, be aware that is, as much as I like him and I think it's a good position for him, and that's exactly the pick that I would have made, it is still a spot where we do need to be aware of who else is around and how it impacts him, especially early on. There is going to be big impacts on that early on, and it's going to make it really hard to get any sort of real value. So the way things are shaking out at the moment, and we sort of knew this, from a redraft perspective, the fantasy value outside of Flagg and maybe Knueppel is not there. It's not there. It's going to be incredibly hard unless we get a bunch of other stuff happening. Yeah? RKO Sayal, haven't seen you for a while, my guy. Good to see you back in here. Now, from memory, are you... Now, let me remember this. You're from Guyana? Let me know if that's right. All right, so now we go to pick 7. Pick 7 is the next one, and that is the Pelicans. Lots of different things that they can do here. I think that Malawach would work pretty well in this spot. Who did I have going here? I had Thomas Sorba. So obviously I like Sorba in this spot. Sorba or Malawach, I've got in the same tier. I would hate Derek Queen to go here. It would make no sense to me. I would hate Fears to go here. It would make no sense. If Fears goes here, people will expect that he puts up big numbers or big minutes immediately. I don't think he will, and I think he'd be absolutely horrific from a fantasy perspective early on. All right, what's this Toronto lol? What's happening to Toronto? Oh, you're in Toronto. Well, who was in Guyana? My bad. Well, you're in Toronto. That's Al then from you. All right, how do I think the 240 game works for Harper, Castle, and Fox? Fox will play 35. Castle will play 29. Harper will play 28, I'm guessing. Are the Nets about to keep all their picks? No, I don't think so. If Nola picks Queen, how does that work next? I don't think it does work at all next design. I think it's a horrific pick if they pick Queen. He can't shoot and he can't defend. It's just a horrific pick if that's what they do. But I haven't seen anything to suggest that that's what they'll do. It would just be bad if they did it. I would hate that. Okay. Tre Johnson, yeah, really, really interesting. Here's a random call. Any of you guys going to be at Petco Park at the start of July? Because I'm going to be there. I'm going to 4 Padres games in a row if you were in San Diego. Start of July. Tre Johnson is really good. Really good pick at that spot. I hate his name because it's just boring. It's just nothing exciting. But yeah. Have I seen anything that suggests they won't? I don't know what that means. Excel Ent. Wow, good name. What's the current worst contract in the NBA? Matt, can't think off the top of my head. Probably still Beal, isn't it, though? It's probably Beal. It'll be probably something that gets signed this offseason, honestly, though. Knowing Toronto, they're going to draft another project they can't fit in the rotation. Has that really been the case for them recently? Jacoby Walter was in the rotation. Not that I think he's good, nor do I think he's a project. I'm not sure that's been the case for them. Pelicans have the young center from Baylor. Do they go Duke center? Eve Messi, if you've got Eve Messi, you do not care that you've got Eve Messi. You try and be better at that position. Like, Eve Messi does not solve your center position. In fact, I think he's a horrible pick with, what's his name? A horrible fit with Zion. Pelicans messed up trading Bellingham last year. Man, he was good when he played. No, Brian, he wasn't. He was actually really bad. He puts up numbers that look good, but he doesn't make your team better. They got off of him and they cleared cap space. Did they get a big return from it? Absolutely not. But they also used Kelly Olynyk to get Jordan Poole, which, honestly, I think Jordan Poole's a better player than Brandon Ingram. I think Ingram's one of those guys where he looks good in one-on-one game, but he needs to be the number one guy. He needs to have the ball in his hands, and that makes your team bad if he's the number one guy. I think he's bad. I think they made... Good, get rid of him. Get rid of that contract. The fantasy appeal of Thomas Sorba to the Suns, it'd be unbelievable. Honestly, he would be... I don't know, maybe he wouldn't start over Nick Richards immediately, but he would be someone who probably finishes top 100 if that happens. Can we teach you how to shave? No, but you can suck my... Yeah, I'm good, man. I don't need to know how to shave because why would I need to do that? Anyway, smart asses. Good for you. Do I play AFL fantasy? No, I do not. I don't. I don't have the time to invest in it. Do they prioritize Tre over Bub? They don't need to. They can just play them together. But is Tre a better prospect than Bub? Yes. I've seen nothing to suggest that they are going to trade up. Come to the East Coast. I do not have time for that this year, unfortunately. What do I think about Coward here? Way too early. Way too early. He's old. He's like 23. All right, that's way too early for him in that spot. I would hate that pick. Dyson Daniels will 100% be overdrafted in category leagues without any question. There's absolutely zero doubt about that to me. Now let's get this pick 7 going. Who is in the spot? Who's it gonna be? This is okay. This is interesting. I think it's going to be centre. I worry it's going to be Fears. I hate the pick of Jeremiah Fears here if that's what it is. I think it's going to be centre. I would take Sorba. I've got no problem if it's going to be Malawach, who I actually think works with Zion okay. Okay, we've got any more info on this? Not yet. Anyone been to the new Red Lobster with their seafood boil bags? I don't even know if I've been to Red Lobster, but I saw that young guy that's taken over. Anyone been? And tell me what the seafood boil's like. I heard it's good. Let's have a look. Malawach, please. Let's see. Just waiting. I'm going to have a drink because my throat is dry. The other one they could do here is Essengay. I don't think they will, and it's not what I would do. But I could see it happening. All right. Big T says he hasn't tried the Red Lobster stuff, but he's had crab legs for the first time in Savannah, Georgia this past weekend. Crab is great. I tell you what I hate about crab and crab legs, and you would have heard me talk about this before as we wait for the next pick. Jeremiah Fears is gone, by the way. Absolutely fucking horrific. Oh, I hate that pick. Absolutely hate that pick. We'll talk crab legs in a sec. The deliciousness, I'll talk about now, the deliciousness to effort ratio is not high enough to me. Fears, that is, I hate that. I hate that. Now, this does not impact Jordan Poole and his value. Fears is going to be the worst player in the NBA this coming season. He's an undersized rookie who can't shoot. He's going to be a backup. He's going to be bad, like without question. I hate this pick. I do not believe in old mate Jeremiah Fears' overall upside. But there is, he is, I would say, the best ball handler and dribbler in this class. So there is something in that. But yeah, Joe Dumas, Troy Weaver, the absolute goated combo for shit front offices. Jeremiah Fears to New Orleans. Undraftable in fantasy redraft leagues, almost certainly. Almost certainly. I'm very interested to see, though, what the Pelicans are doing, because they traded for Jordan Poole. They drafted Jeremiah Fears. So what do they think about DeJounte Murray now? I know he's got a torn Achilles and is out for this year, but now what? As a Nets fan, Fears going makes me so happy. Yeah, I just don't see that sort of a player being good enough to be worth that pick. There might be Fears. You called Isaiah Collier the worst player in the NBA. He was. He was the worst player in the NBA early last season. And he improved. I had Collier as a lottery player last season, but he was literally the worst player in the NBA for the first 2 months of the year. And then he improved, and he was solid. He's still a backup point guard, though. He's not going to be a high-level starting point guard, I don't think. Right? He was the worst player in the NBA. Jeremiah Fears is going to be the worst player in the NBA this season. Whether it's all season or not, I don't know. Now we get into the next one, don't we? Whew. All right. Someone tweeted at me today, what picks do you think are good or definitely going to happen? I said, I'm pretty sure that either Fears or Malawach are going at 7. And I don't love either of them going there, but I'm pretty sure they're going to go. That is horrific, man. Oh, I really do not like it. ESPN's Jonathan Gavoni is reporting Ace Bailey did not want to go to Utah, but they drafted him anyway. Yeah, I know. He didn't want to go outside of, because he knows he wants to go to a team where he could have had 1 million shots. And he wanted to stay on the East Coast. Oh well, bad luck. We'll see what he can do. Any thoughts on Canada, just as a general rule? Again, I'm going to break the fourth wall. Canada's great. I've only been to Montreal, and I loved it. Where I push back on things is when people become absolutely insane in comments and being totally hyperbolic on things. And then I can just lean into it. It's like talking about Denny Avdia or Josh Giddey or Toronto. When people say, the Raptors, you don't know, you never watched the game, they're going to be top 4 in the NBA, they do all these. Okay, they're bad. They've been proven to be bad. We'll see if they improve. That's where I lean into that stuff. I like Canada. He wanted to go to Washington or Brooklyn, is the reports on old mate. Ace Bailey. How bad has Stephen A. Smith and Kendrick Perkins been on the broadcast? Terrible is what I'm guessing. Like, I mean, they couldn't be anything else, could they? Does anyone enjoy that? Anyone enjoy watching that garbage? I don't know. Maybe they do. Bob Myers acknowledging how Fears has been a bad shooter like everywhere. In college, high school, representative games. He's a good free throw shooter, but he just can't hit free throws. Now, someone said before, talking about Dylan Harper and Killian Hayes, Fears is the Killian Hayes. Because part of the way I got seduced by Killian Hayes was, he's a really good free throw shooter. So he's got some touch, so maybe he can be a good three-point shooter. No. And yeah. And Hayes is at least a good defender. Fears is not. No trade up for Brooklyn. Yeah, I think Brooklyn's more likely to trade some of their back-end picks to try and get like around 14. That pick from the Spurs, maybe. Perkins is okay. Wow, that's a terrible take. Stephen A is praising the pick. That's how you know it's bad. That is how you know it is bad. Bro literally doesn't know how the NBA works. Raptors going to take an African center or Euro guard. Why do we have this opinion of them? Scotty Barnes. He fits either of those things, doesn't he? Jacoby Walter? Grady Dick? Not one of those players fits that stereotype. I hate this pick as well. Brooklyn taking Yegor Demon. Oh my God. What on actual earth is this? This guy, he will shoot, but he's dreadful. And he can't hit free throws. That is shocking. Wow, I hate that. Now, Demon's fantasy game is interesting because he is probably the best passer in the draft. Close enough to it, but I think everything else might be just trash. That's and they do need a point guard, obviously. That is just... Wow, Jesus. No. I would not have done that. There are many point guards I would have taken over Yegor Demon. Let's just have a look, actually, who I had as a point guard ahead of Yegor Demon. Jace Richardson, Nolan Traore. That's the two I had ahead of him. I even had Fears ahead of Demon. And then I had Yaki Chonas after that. But I had Demon in the teens. Whoa. That's rough, man. I do not like Demon at all. Really good assist numbers. Steals are fine. Shooting numbers, absolutely horrific. The size is great. Brooklyn, him and Cam Thomas is a horrendous backcourt. But although you don't make any decisions based on Cam Thomas being there, I really hate that pick. That's not one for me. That's yuck. Yegor Demon at pick 8 to Brooklyn. Is that worse than Fears? I don't know. Look, I could easily be wrong, but I hate these last two picks. Hate them. Obviously, I can be wrong. They can be wrong as well. As teams often are, and as I often am. Why is Sharm's not tweeting anything? Because I guess he's on TV. I don't know. Why not take Yaki Chonas if you need a point guard? Look, you could have taken two other guys instead of him as well. Have I ever been to Florida? Yes. I was in Miami in 2019. So yes, I have been. And I was in Orlando as a kid. So we're at pick 9 now, which is Toronto. This, I would... Now, Sorba, Malawach, either one of those guys, totally good with it. And I'm almost certain it's going to be Malawach here. But we'll see. Damn it, I cannot... that is shocking. I cannot deal with that pick. I like that he's young. I like that he had volume on his shooting. That's a positive for Yegor Demon, but bloody hell. Now, there is a chance that Yegor Demon is installed immediately as the starting point guard, plays 31 minutes a night, shoots 36% from the field, but averages 7.5 assists with 1.2 steals. And honestly, if you liked Isaiah Collier this past season, why wouldn't you like what Demon could do? I think it could be an almost identical type of skill set from what Collier did to what Demon could do this season. And that might be useful. Although, remember, even though Collier had some value, he wasn't a top 100 guy. He wasn't close to it. So, yeah, again, hate it. And the Nets have 5 picks. So do they take Yaki Chonas later on? We'll find out. I had a pretty strong feeling they were going to take a point guard, and I would have taken... I think I had Jace Richardson going to them there. I did. But yeah, that is not the pick I would have made. Do I think Durant will be a better fantasy player than the Rockets? Yes, I do. Did a whole video on that. You go check that one out. Who are my favorite prospects around the first, second round turn? No idea yet, Alec. It's just way too early to talk about that. Where am I getting early picks? I've just got some little... You can find this information if you want. You just got to be sort of on top of it. So yeah, I can find it. Have I been to San Francisco? Yeah, I was there in 2019 as well. Now it's pick 9. I think that we're going to get back-to-back centers here. Actually, do we? We could get Queen Malawatch or Essengay. Actually, Essengay to Toronto would make sense given the Operation 6-9, even though Essengay's bigger. I do think they need Malawatch or Sorba, but I don't think they'll take Sorba. Unfortunately for my Sorba, what do you call it? Propaganda. All right. I'm not gatekeeping anything. It's just hard for me to tell you because there's multiple people who tweet these out and you just got to know the right people with the right sources at the right time. So Mike Scotto does it. Jeff Goodman's tweeting it. You'll see other guys tweet stuff out as well. So I'm just sort of watching it as it's going past here. But also just tune in to me and I'll tell you when I see what I see. Have I been to Australia? Never. Never in a million years. Stephen A. Smith and Jeremiah Fears' second coming of Kyrie Irving. This is why you watch this show. This is why you watch this show. Bulls taking the Lithuanian that went to Illinois is too predictable. Oh my God, that's just seriously. I'll laugh my absolute ass off if they do that, especially considering they've got about 5 point guards on the roster already. It'd be so funny. I'd laugh so hard. All right, let's see what we get here from the Raptors. I believe, I'm pretty confident that it's going to be, just having a look, let's see if any other news is coming in. I'm pretty confident it's going to be Malawatch. And I'm okay with it. It's not what I would do, but I'm okay with it. I won't be giving team depth charts at this point, total bally, because there's just a million things that are going to happen in the interim. So I'll try to talk as much as I can about how this stuff fits, but I can say one thing and then in 2 days' time it'll change. So, and I think I've said that for all of these teams as to where these guys are going to fit. Pick 9 is next. Do I think Queen is a good fit with the Spurs? I do. I'm just going to make some adjustments on my end here. So he went 6, Fears went 7, and then Demon went 8. I'm just adjusting my actual board. So pick 9 is up next. I haven't seen any information on the pick yet. Raptors the 5th seed with Malawatch. Honestly, as much as I think the Raptors are overrated, given all of the injuries, they are at least like top 8 seed really, really easy for them, I think. But a lot still to happen, obviously. The Nets deserve to get relegated from the NBA. Just saw someone tweet, yeah, like it's a horrific pick. 7 and 8, like what are we doing? I just do not like those picks at all. Yuri, you're right. We will probably go to Portland at some point, but like who knows when. No Denny Avdia rant. I don't need to do a Denny Avdia rant. I don't rant about him. I just give you my thoughts on what I think he is as a player. And he's a solid to good player. Not the greatest player of all time, as some people seem to think. Okay, I'm not hearing anything here about this pick 9. It's got to be Malawatch, I think, though. I'm very, very confident it's going to be... Oh, no, here we go. Colin Murray-Boyles. What? Colin Murray-Boyles and Scotty Barnes is a terror. Oh, my God. Okay. Colin Murray-Boyles. What? Yeah, I think he's a good defender. But, bro, there is... Come on. Colin Murray-Boyles at pick 9. Let me just say that again. Well, you know what? I shouldn't be surprised because it's the standard Masai Ujiri reverse cook. Now, Malawatch to Phoenix is absolutely massive for fantasy if that happens. That is Colin Murray-Boyles. What are we doing? That honestly, what is happening? I can't with that pick. Murray-Boyles. All right. Really good defensive stuff. I think he's a very smart defender. The shooting is horrific. It's horrific. He's not really a center. He's small. He's 6'7". He's smaller than Barnes. Is Barnes just like... Can anyone shoot on this team? RJ getting traded? Maybe. But like, what a Pirtle, Barnes, Murray... Come on, man. Yep, that's terrible. Raptors being the Raptors. I don't really get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get this at all. I don't really get it. All right, so pick 10 is up next. That's Phoenix. It should be Malawatch. But I would take Sorba here if I was them. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. Dick and Quickly the only shooters. Yeah, no, I'm not sure that Dick's any good. Did the Raptors crush it? Well, if you've been crushed it in that they turned the hopes of their franchise and screwed it into a ball and put it in the bin, then yeah, it was crushed. Yeah, definitely crushed. BDNR to the bench. Yeah, he's bad. Like he's actually terrible. So that's fine. Well, this is where things are starting to go weird. You age. That's what happens with time. Like, I'm not sure if you're aware, but you probably got older as well. Unless you didn't, and then maybe we need an investigation. Yeah, 0 value for CMB in fantasy. 0. Could it be Essengay for Phoenix? It could be. Yep. Look, they've got a lot of needs, obviously. Malawatch, the new Bol. No, he's not even close to Bol, I don't think. Chouch. But that's okay. Why is this recycling? I don't know what you mean. What's recycling? The Raptors are keeping Colin Murray-Boyles despite interest from teams trying to trade up. So they made the mistake. They made 2 mistakes. It's all right. Obviously, maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe I'm wrong. But I would say that a lot of the Raptors' recent moves have been pretty bad. Scotty Barnes was a good pick, and I didn't like it. So I was wrong on that. But yeah, I really don't know what this team is. BDNR saved my season for a week last season. What do I mean? I mean that he is bad. He is a bad fantasy player and a bad real-life player. I should be clearer on that. He is bad. And just in case you didn't catch that about BDNR, Big Dick Nick Richards starting center for the Phoenix Suns, he's bad. Again, I don't want there to be confusion. Nick Richards is bad. Sucks. Okay. It is pick number 10. Phoenix coming up. Waiting to see if we get any more info. Shams has also given up on tweeting again. Ooh. Okay. Colin Murray-Boyles' girl is bad, so I haven't seen that. I'll take your word from it, Sayal. I assume she is. And if there's one thing that we all can appreciate, it's a baddie. Yeah, that's where we get off the rails, because I've been talking for like an hour, 15 minutes straight here, and there's more to go. Flamingo's where? In the 20s somewhere, Tanner, I think. But honestly, who knows? If Malawatch goes to Phoenix, can be top 100? Yeah, I think he can. It's going to depend on how they use him, but like there's no impediment in front of him. He probably gets to play 22 minutes minimum. Yeah. Malawach to Atlanta feeling real. That would make absolutely no sense. Made absolutely no sense. Josh, you should tell her. You should tell her that she smells. But make sure you're as mean as possible about it. Say, bitch, you stink. Stink. All right. Stink. Phoenix. Now, I don't trust the Phoenix ownership. I don't trust their previous GM. I don't trust their current GM. So I don't really know what they're going to do. But it's getting to a point here where, I don't know, it's a little hard to make a mistake at this stage with Phoenix. Malawach, Sorba. Honestly, Jace Richardson. I swear to God, if Jace Richardson happens here at Michigan State, I'm gonna die. And I'll lose my mind because I love the pick, but it's going to be such a meme. Yes, let's go. Come on. How many silly season runs does Caleb Love have in him? Very similar to Drew Timme. He's got one. Was Colin Murray-Boyles best case for OKC? Yeah, I think he would have been fine in OKC. Play a nice reserve role, see what develops. He would have been good there. Wolves should get Danny Wolf. Yeah, they should. Just for funniness' sake. I'm all about doing stuff for the humor. Have we got anything else? Yeah. Oh, here we go. It is Kama Malawach at number 10. You know what, Phoenix? I was not 100% familiar with your game. I like that selection. Come on, Malawach to Phoenix. This is probably the most interesting redraft fantasy pick outside of Cooper Flagg, obviously. Malawach has incredible upside as a fantasy player for this year. He's very young. The Suns centers, guess what? It's bad. I would have taken Sorba personally, but whatever, man. I think it's a really good pick to get old mate there. Come on, Malawach. He's going to take time, obviously, but also remember this. This will get talked. You hear this. Big men, they just take a lot of time to develop. Big men are usually better when they're younger, and rookie centers are the ones that can usually have better impact in fantasy. And he's a good free throw guy. He's a good field goal guy. The blocks are fine. I wish he did better, but he's a good rebounder. He should be able to take over from Nick Richards early on. It might not be opening night, but this is one of the ones that I think we really do like from a fantasy point of view. Possibly, Flagg's the obvious one, but this is the best fantasy fit for this upcoming season. That doesn't necessarily mean that it applies to Dynasty formats, but I like it. Did something else? Oh my God. What? Now, okay, so Phoenix just traded for Mark Williams. What? So just take all of that back. Mark Williams is going to cook in Phoenix. So they traded for the wrong Charlotte center last season and get the right one this season. Wow. All right. Mark Williams traded for pick 29 and a 2029 first. The Charlotte so they get two firsts. So the Suns are just, I don't know. Okay, Phoenix, what are you doing? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you make the pick of Malawach, which again, solid pick, and then give up a future first and another first? Why? Why would you do that? Now, hey, you know what? You know who the starting center is for Charlotte, by the way? Yusuf Nurkic. Yeah. That is so weird, man. Mark Williams' value is high. Forget everything that I just said about Malawach being a fantasy relevant player this season. He won't be. Unless Williams is hurt, when Williams is hurt. But Richards is still there. So they're going to oh my God. What? It takes 2 seconds for them to do something stupid. Hornets are going to have to, at the moment, Timmy T. Hill. Who on earth do the Charlotte have as the center? Now, obviously free agency, and they've got 2 early second-round picks, but that's not going to matter. Do they trade back in to grab a Thomas Sorba? Nurkic will have some weird fantasy value this season if he's a starter. I'm pretty sure he will be. But absolutely not Musa. Musa's not good, man. Like, he's not good. Absolutely, it's not Diabate's season. He is bad. He is a backup center at best. The 2029 first rounder is least favorable of Cleveland, Utah, Minnesota. That's not a good pick, is it? Okay. I mean, Charlotte obviously got that 29th pick. Bruh. What? Did the people that made the trade know what was happening in the draft or vice versa? Yeah, Mark's going to be great. All right, I think someone said Mark Williams will be very good with the Suns. Agree. I think he's going to have really strong value here. There's no trade happening at this. Like, every time that a trade is made that people get baffled by, people's immediate reaction, well, I think a trade's happening. It just doesn't happen. Like, out of every time it gets said, it just happens once out of 150 times. It just doesn't happen. That to that degree. So, no, there's no trade happening. BDNR is cooked. Even when he had no competition, he was cooked. All right. Found someone that needs to get kicked out of here, so bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Won't Mark Williams' trade just get vetoed on medicals again? It's the same body. Yeah, but it's different doctors. It's not an NBA veto. It was the Lakers vetoing it. And obviously, the Charlotte doctors had no problem with him. And that's okay. And I also think part of it was the Lakers finding, because you can really use anything as any sort of reason to veto a trade in that respect if you want. I think that they panicked about what they gave up for Mark Williams. So I think there is zero shot that this is rescinded. Zero shot. There's something wrong with Mark Williams. He's had a lot of injury problems, but also I think that relationship may have been a little bit ruined with the trade. The Suns have just as many centers as they do. I've only got 3 centers. Like, it's not that bad. There's only 3 of them, and one of them's a rookie. No one wanted to give more than a protected first for Mark Williams. Well, Phoenix just gave 2 firsts for Mark Williams. So they did. Becken, have you ever watched Nick Richards play? He's going to LA to become a top 40 player. What, top 40 in terms of how we're rating the worst players in the NBA? What do we know? What? Absolutely not. They did not send Malawach. Is Ishbia cooked? Here, yes, very obviously. What is... Now I'm confused. Who's the next? Oh, it's Portland here, isn't it? This is one because obviously whoever's picked here by Portland, there is no real fantasy appeal because there is no clear lane for value, for starting, for minutes, for anything. They're taking Cedric Coward. Okay. That's okay. Older player. The stats from last season from Coward, hard to judge because he played 6 games. The shooting numbers look good. The block numbers look good. He's done things at multiple different levels. He will be someone that has some value when Jeremy Grant is gone, I guess. Now, I want you all to be very careful here. You might need to close your ears. Get ready. I'll say it mainly just to take the piss. Could Cedric Coward be better than Denny Avdia in the future? Could that happen? Could Coward be better than Denny Avdia? Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone I said it because I'll get in trouble. But to be honest, I don't think he will be better than Denny Avdia, but they play the same positions, and I think Avdia and Coward can work together, but he's not going to do anything this season. He is older, though. He's 22, so just be aware of that. There's some interesting falls here in this draft. Where is Carter Bryant? Why is he not going? Where the 2 guys that I was higher on, I knew they wouldn't go. That's okay. That's Sorba and Richardson. And I'm going to be very excited when they... oh, no, Coward's being traded to Memphis. Interesting. There we go. Being traded to Memphis. Now that... I don't know what's coming back in that deal. But that is interesting. That is interesting. They obviously moved on from Bain. KCP and Cole Anthony, whatever. Coward won't start immediately, and he's in that mix with GG Jackson and Vince Williams. Who we want to watch? The outlook, I think, is actually better for him in Memphis. He won't do much this season, though. Then he's back. Yeah, he's back to being the MVP. Let's go. I wonder what that pick is. Or what's coming... wonder what's coming back in the trade. It's an interesting trade. Charlotte also, going back to the Mark Williams trade, they actually need to send a player out as well for salary matching purposes. And in terms of salary matching, it can be Royce O'Neal, it could be Cody Martin back to Charlotte, or it could be Vasilije Micic, who is going to be heading back overseas. Interesting. Some very, very strange things. I think that's a good move. I'd like to see what Memphis gives up in this situation to get him. Oh, no, it is the Bulls, isn't it? What are they going to do? This is frightening. Yaki Chonos would be a laugh. I heard Johan Berenger, which would be pretty high for him, although I like Berenger. Derek Queen, yeah, that's right. He obviously couldn't coexist with Vooch, and his defense is a real problem. And he needs someone that can defend next to him, and they don't have that. Although, maybe Buzelis. So now Phoenix has Coman and Mark Williams. Correct, Isaac Smith? They do. Meaning that Malawach isn't going to do very much at all. Oh, so they're trading Coward to Memphis for pick 16, a future first, and 2 seconds. Wow, what? So Portland traded back 5 spots for a guy that could have been available there. Wow, okay, that's a huge W, actually. That's a huge W from Portland. Congratulations to Joe Cronin, who oftentimes has done the reverse sear on a lot of his deals, but getting that back is really strong. Wow. Colin Cowherd is what they called Cedric Cowherd, apparently. Interesting. There you go. Now, Chicago. Yeah, all right, so it is pick 16. That is a lot, man. You traded up 5 spots and a future first. It's the Magic's 28 first and 2 seconds for a 22-year-old who played 6 games that we're not really sure how good he is. Don't know about that. Like, taking the pick there, whatever. Right, fine. Isn't Malawach a Rocket? No, he is not. He is Phoenix. That trade was traded as part of the Kevin Durant deal. So Malawach is in Phoenix. Yes, John just mentioned it. Portland gets... What does Portland get? Pick 16, a future first, and 2 seconds. Memphis tends to hit on their draft picks. Alec, except that's completely not true of late. Zaire Williams, David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, Zach Edey, whatever. I have lost all faith in Memphis' front office, honestly. Bulls taking Carter Bryant, maybe? Maybe? Interesting that Noah Essengay is still around. That is a lot, man. What is Memphis actually doing? The Magic 28 pick won't have any value, or it could. It's in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, who knows what happens? Guess what happens to Boston's pick now, and Indiana's pick, and Milwaukee's picks, and you got no idea, man. Like, no one has any idea. At the moment, Isaac, it's Nurkic is going to be the starter, but we'll see what they can find. Like, do they get like a Kalkbrenner at 29? At the moment, I think it's just going to be Nurkic. Laravia is actually good. Laravia is all right. Like, he's not a bad player. I agree with you. It took a while to get there, and of course, then they dumped him for nothing. If this is Yaki Chonas, I am going to die. This will be... Oh, Noah Essengay to the Bulls. Chicago? All right. I am not just blatantly anti-Chicago. Noah Essengay, there is risk with the shooting is never real for him. The free throw drawing is. The forward size is amazing for him next to Matos Buzelis. Defensively, this is incredibly good. Now, will he be an impact player immediately? No chance. Like, none. None whatsoever. So, that's, yeah. No, I like that pick from Chicago. There are still guys that I would have taken ahead of him without any worries there, but I like Essengay in that spot. I think that's a really good, as a smart pick from the Bulls. Like, I would have taken Sorba. I wouldn't have taken Richardson here to Chicago. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I would have taken Sorba, but I like Essengay in this spot. Let's have a look. Essengay Buzelis is actually... I just adjust my back before it stops working. I like that pick. Wow, there you go. See? I don't just blatantly hate the Bulls and everything they do. I hate a lot of what they do. I don't hate all of it, though. Is it a black screen for anyone else? I hope not. Everything looks good on my end. Still transmitting as far as I know. Hit the thumbs up. Maybe that'll open up get rid of the black screen. All right, just looking. Atlanta is next. All right. Pick 13. Now, obviously, they made the trade for Porzingis. My best available is Jace Richardson or Thomas Sorba. I don't think Sorba makes any sense here at all, so that's not something that I'd be doing. But I'm just going to update my sheet here as well. Yep, Essengay at 12. So, who have I got? Atlanta. Yeah, I would take Jace Richardson if I was them. The other guy that I would consider here is Carter Bryant. Oh, yeah, but now you got that Jalen Johnson, Zach Ricochet. I would take Jace. It's an interesting spot, this one. I actually don't know what they're going to do. Atlanta, I can't figure this out. Oh, they're trading it. To the Pelicans for pick 23 and an unprotected 26, the most favorable of New Orleans and Milwaukee. What on earth is that pick? Are you actually kidding me? What? What the fuck? What is Dumas doing? Now, I thought he'd be like a terrible GM, and I didn't mind the McCollum trade. What the hell is this shit? Milwaukee and New Orleans, whatever the best pick that there is, you trade. Oh my God. All right, so New Orleans at pick 13. This should be Sorba. If it's Queen, it is just a complete misunderstanding of what makes sense on this squad. I could see it being Carter Bryant. Oh my God. It would have made a lot more sense for the Pelicans to trade up if Malawach was still there. Bro. That pick could be... Oh my God. What the actual... Imagine the Bucks now trade Giannis. I'm so sorry. Derek Queen, are you idiots actually serious? You can't... How could you pick what? Oh my... Joe Dumas. Bro. Well, at least they went into an extensive search for their GM to get the best qualified candidate versus the guy that just sort of had an office around the corner. No offense to Derek Queen. This is just... How do you play Derek Queen and Zion together? What are we actually doing here? Jesus Christ. How? How is that the pick? Yes, Queen. But maybe, no? Like, that is actually terrible. Bro. It could be fine. Atlanta trading up for that pick is an absolute masterclass. Bro. I just don't understand what you're... Derek Queen. By the way, there was a guy that is in my comments yesterday. I hope he's here now. He said Derek Queen's going to be the best player in this draft class. I went, cool. Not going to happen. He's like, oh, remember it if it's true. If he is the best player in this draft class, a masterful trade. Almost serious shot that happens. But that's okay. This is unbelievable. There's always something, isn't there? Time to bring out the shots. Do you know what time it is? It's a little early. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't drink at 11:35 a.m. I wonder if NOLA trades Zion for a haul of picks. I don't think they will. They basically said that they wouldn't. Most favorable unprotected is insane. Troy Weaver cooking again. Matt Moore, host of Locked On Nuggets, said the Pelicans get their big. No, they don't. They get whatever this is. Oh my god. I've got to tweet something. Holy crap, man. This is bad. This is just... Bro, what are we talking about? Derek Queen. Wow, some people got A++. Absolutely no way. That is... I hate it. I just don't understand it. Yeah, we talked about the Mark Williams trade. It's not pick 25, pick 29 it is. Bro. Well, Bobby Marks with a nice little sly tweet here. After talking about Derek Queen, the Pelicans had the lowest defensive rebounding percentage this season, gave up the second most points in the paint. They ranked last in defensive efficiency, last in transition defense, and 29th in rim protection, and they picked Derek Queen. Bro, what? I can see that my little tracker is running out of space. Shout out to Nzosa so far as the GM. Yeah, look, I think he's made some really good moves. Some really good moves. The Hawks are going to be a top 4 East team, I think. It's so interesting. Look, again, I could be incredibly wrong on a lot of this stuff. So could everybody, of course. That's how it works. But like I just saw someone who's a really, really strong draft analyst said the Pelicans have had an amazing night getting Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. Like I think they've had a terrible night. Like an absolutely horrific night. Honestly, this is not what I would do at all. Does Queen have fantasy value? Not on this team. Is he going to start at center? Like, okay. No. No. Oh my god. What is actually happening? The East is wide open. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's going to be such an interesting, such an interesting conference. Now with the Spurs, this pick should be moved. I don't know that it will be, but it should be. That is an unbelievable deal from the Hawks. I cannot... You give up Terrence Mann, pick 22, and George Niang, Kristaps Porzingis, and then you give up pick 13 for 2 firsts, including an unbelievable unprotected pick. What are they doing? Who should Miami draft? Chase Richardson. If he's there, that's who I'll be picking. It's just none of this stuff makes any sense of what these teams are doing. It's borderline like insane. I think what I'm going to have to end up doing on this ticker, because it's running out of space, is remove the first picks. Because otherwise we're just not going to have any room. All right, that's okay. I'm sure you know where everything is going, and if you are just joining in, it's okay. Honestly, in terms of fantasy value, and we'll go into more of this probably tomorrow, there's not a lot happening, honestly. And the one that really looked like it could pop was Malawach, and then they traded for Mark Williams. Are the Wolves going to get Sorba? They might not even pick him. The Spurs should get Carter Bryant. Bob, I would like them doing that a lot. He would make a ton of sense. And he's not going to play much, and he's not going to provide much fantasy value early on, but I think that would be great. Vasilija Micic is going back to Charlotte as part of the Mark Williams deal, by the way, and he's also heading off to Europe, so he's not going to play. What? So we're waiting on this Spurs pick. If they take, and it was rumored by ESPN that they would take Johan Berenger, absolutely horrific. Jeff, appreciate you being here, and everyone who is here. Hit a like if you haven't done that already. Bro. And you know when I say like you don't worry about drafting over Yves Missi, that's true. But there are 2 types of guys who don't fit with Zion. One of them is Yves Missi, and one of them is Derek Queen. And that's what you do. Queen has some really good low post moves, some really good offensive usage stuff. But who cares? Not sure yet. No point even talking about it at the moment, about where a men should be drafted. It'll be high, but like there's a lot of stuff. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff that changes every 5 minutes in the NBA. Come on, man. Baby Jokic. Come on. Really? Oh, well. Derek Queen, Baby Jokic. Baby Enes Freedom. He's not, but I just wanted to be funny. It's so interesting that there's different opinions of people. Like another person, James Barlow from Locked On NBA Big Board, his 2 favorite players in the draft went to New Orleans. I can't. That's not for me. It's not for me. Perkins just called Queen a lob threat. Jackson McIntyre has... Okay. All good. Honey Pig. I liked VJ at 3. Really strong pick. Baby Julie Okafor. That sounds about right. Baby Maurice Spates. I actually don't hate Derek Queen at all. I just think that he's got to be in the right spot. If Derek Queen went to San Antonio at pick 14, I would love it. I would think it would be an amazing pick, honestly. It's New Orleans. No, thank you. All right, Carter Bryant to San Antonio. I would have taken somebody else there, but also this is almost as good as you could possibly hope for, I think. Carter Bryant, also one of those, I won't say weird, but sort of weird players in that the numbers won't be super exciting early on. But yeah, the defensive ability of him there is like very strong, and I do think that makes quite a bit of sense. I'm just going to double check something. All right, so Carter Bryant going to San Antonio from Arizona. He won't play a huge amount straight away because you've got Devin Vassell still there. You've got Fox, Castle, Harper. You've got Keldon Johnson and Harrison Barnes still, but this is a starter for a year or two in the future. I think he'll barely play, honestly, early on. But that player next to Victor, if the shot comes around, and that's the worry you have, is like, oh, yeah, there's Sohan. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it Sohan can't really shoot, Castle can't shoot, Harper can't shoot, Fox is not a good shooter. Yeah, can Bryant be a good shooter? Like, he shot 37 from 3 last season with good volume. I'm not 100% convinced on it, though. So while the defensive stuff is good, him and Sohan and Castle can't all work together. I don't think that works. So as much as I like the value of that pick there, of Carter Bryant going to the Spurs, I am a little worried. What are my thoughts on Midsich saving the Hornets? Again, you mean? Yeah, easy. He's awesome. What are my thoughts on Fox, Castle, and Harper in San Antonio? It won't last long term. No chance of it working as a long term thing. Yeah, Rakshay, I just don't know when I'm going to do it. In terms of the nicknames, I will do it. I just don't know when. The worry you have there is, again, just that shooting in San Antonio. Carter Bryant, Dylan Harper, Jeremy Sohan, Stephon Castle, they can't shoot. That's too many guys that can't shoot. Okay. All right. That's my only. Again, in a vacuum, the pick makes a lot of sense. But we don't play in vacuums because we die. And we've got context that's got to be taken into consideration. Bro, the Pelicans, man. What is going on? Oh, let's have another drink. Joseph with a pertinent question. Any upside with CMB pick of the Raps? Just go back and have a look at that section of the draft. The thing I'll say about Colin Murray-Boyles going to pick 9 to the Raptors, it's not in the worst 2 picks of the draft. It's not in the worst 4 moves of the draft. I still don't like it. I still do not like it. Bro. Whew. It's a good problem to have for Sens. It's not though, Xavier. Like, having no shooting is not a good problem to have, because if your 2 options are I'd like shooting or I wouldn't like shooting, I want shooting. It's good that you've got good players, true, but they might not turn into good players, and they can't all work together, and it might just drag a lot of stuff down, and then you get into a position where you're at a glut of guys and you can't get value in any trades. So, I mean, it's having too much shooting is a good problem to have. Not having enough shooting, don't know. I like Carter Bryant, but yeah, I'm a little worried. His game's a little worrying. I think it's going to take a lot of time to get there. The Big Gelato is an unbelievable name from Thomas Sorba. Sorbet legend. Yeah, I like it, Bobby. Bob Herman, coming up with a go-to nickname, the Big Gelato. W, we're in on that. You know I don't love these hypotheticals, but what are my thoughts on De'Aaron Fox for Franz Wagner? You're right. I don't love them. Queen and Fierce to my Pelicans. Thank you, Jay Dumas. PJ Clemens, welcome to the show. Good to have you here for the first time. Thank you, Jay Dumas. I can only assume that you actually hate the Pelicans with all of your soul and all of your might, because what are you talking about? Bruh. Hartenstein, 1 more year guaranteed on a deal. Incoming Sorba on rookie deal. Like, maybe, but you know what? Maybe Sorba turns into Hartenstein. Maybe he doesn't. You don't make those sort of plans based on that. Cheese fella, I'll do all that tomorrow. I can't look at my Dynasty rankings at this point as I'm trying to get this show all done, because there's so many things that need to get factored in when I do that. So I don't know, man, who would go number 7 in a Dynasty Points League draft at this point. We are 14 picks in. We are like 5 insane moves in. It is now pick 15. your Oklahoma City Thunder. They just won the title, if you weren't aware. Okay. What have we got here? What about Markovic? You mean Bogolyub at this point? I don't think so. Seems way too early for Bogolyub. But who knows? If you have 2 maxes coming up, I think you do. Maybe. Why you want... I'm just replying to tweets at the same time. I cannot understand some of it. Joe Dumars was a horrendous GM at the end of his tenure for like ages. Why is he back in this job? The draft is 2 days again this year. Top of my board is Richardson and it is Sorba. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. Is Topic a hold in Dynasty? Well, I don't know why you would have held on all year without him playing a game and move on now. So, like, yes. It looks like... I'm waiting for some confirmation on this. I'm getting some... Yeah, no, I don't want to say it just yet. I'm just trying to get some info on this. About pick 15 here. So it looks like it's Thomas Sorba at 15, which is unbelievable. Like, very clearly, that's what I would have done. I love it for me, and I love it for them. He had a foot injury in the last season. I think he's going to be fine. Moving forward, the big gelato. All right, so it looks like it is happening. Thomas Sorba to Oklahoma City. I have Sorba really high in this draft. The problem with this is it's great that he goes to Oklahoma City, except when does he play? Yeah. When is he going to play? Not really at all. Did I lose some weight? I have actually lost some weight. Yeah, I've lost about 6 kilos in the last 4 weeks. Speaking of Colin Cowherd, Colin Cowherd ranked the 2020 Lakers as the top NBA team among the last 7 NBA champs. No one should listen to any of these people. Like, these, they have no idea what they're talking about. Oh, seriously? Thomas Sorba at 15 is goated. It's an unbelievable pick from the Thunder. He just won't play that much, unfortunately, because Chet, Hartenstein, Pig Williams, this is one for the future. If you're in a Dynasty League, you have to wait on that very clearly. But it's just getting unbelievable value from a team that you shouldn't be allowing to get that sort of a player, I don't think. And yeah, it just takes time. It's going to take a lot of time here for the big gelato. It's going to take quite a bit of time. But that's okay. That's okay. We just know that it's going to be a while. I really like Thomas Sorba. I cannot believe that... I mean, I can, because NBA teams do things that are weird in my mind all the time. A couple of guys that... Yeah, that's a really good pick, man. Bloody hell. It's a really good pick. Sorba, has a lot of appeal. Just some... What's the dumbest move so far? The Pelicans trading? The Pelicans picking Queen? The Grizzlies, what they gave up for Cowherd? Fears at 7, I don't like. Murray-Boyles at 9. The Suns drafting Malawatch and then trading for Mark Williams. What's been the dumbest thing? I would love your feedback on it. Obviously, when we go through this, it's all really hard to... you're reacting on it in the moment, and that's why I don't do... I won't now sit here and then do a full draft reaction show straight after I do this because I've got to sit on stuff and work on things and figure out where it goes. So we've got like a time to debate it. I don't know if I do my Dynasty tiers show tomorrow or if I do my draft recap show tomorrow. I'd probably do the draft recap tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure though. Thomas Sorba is just a goated pick from the Thunder. Goated. And again, just no fantasy redraft appeal whatsoever. None at all. So now it's pick 16. Kings trying to sign Schroeder is the dumbest move. It doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? I don't really understand that either. Suns trading for Mark is the biggest mess. Why is that the biggest mess? Mark Williams is a very good player. I don't know why that's the biggest mess. Maybe iHeart gets moved in here. Maybe. But also this is... It's a young player. Like, again, we know that Hartenstein's really good. And guys can get moved at any point, that's true. But I'm not sure that that's necessarily what they do. Joseph says, do I think Knueppel starts right away on Charlotte? I would say, yeah. I would, or close enough to it anyway, yeah. Really, really, yeah. The Sorba one, it was one that I loved from a fantasy, real-life, dynasty perspective. And I just couldn't hate the situation more in terms of how long we're going to have to wait for this. Okay. Who is at least 2, maybe 3 seasons delayed for Sorba's dynasty value, I would say. And even then, like Sorba and Chet, how's the fit? It might work all right. But it's, again, just get a good player and then see what breaks loose. Which is exactly what you should be doing. Now I'm just waiting for this pick 16, which is... it was Memphis, and now it's Portland. It was Orlando, and it was traded as part of the Desmond Bane deal. And now it's in Portland as part of that insane Cedric Coward deal. So look at the guys that are on the board still that... Memphis, instead of trading up to get Coward, which, what are you doing? That are available here. Like, I got Jace Richardson. I know people aren't as high on him than me. That's okay. Nolan Traore, I like quite a bit. There's Yaki Chonos, who could make some sense for Memphis. There's Asa Newell. There's Johan Berenger. Liam McNeely in this spot for Portland. Who would I take? I just take Jace because I just think he's the best player here. I wouldn't take Yaki Chonos, I don't think. Newell could make a little bit of sense. RIP Denny. No way! But Hanson Yang at 16. What? 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 Hanson Yang at 16? Have we all lost our friggin' minds? Hanson Yang is a really good passer as a big man. They have Donovan Clingan and DeAndre Ayton. Now, do I have huge faith in Donovan Clingan to be a big minute NBA starting center? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's a pretty good rebounder, Yang. The shooting is not really there. Defensively, there are some concerns. The block numbers are high, but obviously there is Chinese league impact stuff on that has a... Jeez. He is also not going to have any impact this season. I also need to make sure with Hanson Yang, because in terms of his name, because that is just an unbelievably weird pick. The reason I say his name, because often when we westernize Asian names and Chinese names, we put surnames like Yao Ming, right? We put them the wrong way around. So is he like actually H Yang? Is he Yang Hansen? Like, what's his actual surname? Yeah, in our traditional sort of way of looking at it. That's like one of the wilder off the board picks that I've seen. I need to look up Hansen Yang's actual, like, name. Young Hansen. What is it? No, yeah, it is Young Hansen. Okay. And he's young. He's... Any Chinese people in the chat? Is Young his family name? So it's Young Hansen, but we say Hansen Yang. Yeah, I know. Now I'm confusing myself. That's an unbelievable pick. I cannot believe that just happened. Hansen Yang. I'm trying to figure out how we write that. I think it's H Yang would be my guess. Hansen is the surname. Is it? Yang is his family. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, Yang is his family. Is it? Yeah, Yang is his family name. Yeah, okay. But it said Young Hansen in Chinese, Mandarin, I think it is. Yeah, Young Hansen. So Hansen Yang, the way I've got it shown there. Again, Young is the surname. Thank you, everybody. Yep, Young is the surname. Hansen Yang. Is it Young or Yang? Because I don't want my big Aussie accent on that. Yang. Yang. I saw the Handsome and Young shirt. Unbelievable shirt, Matt. He was wearing his own branded merch. Handsome and Young. It looked great. That is so early, man. Holy that is a crazily early. I was not in the million. Where did I have Young in my list, in my big board? Not that high. I know that much. 37. Yeah, so safe to say we are a little bit apart on valuations for Young. Young is the new Klingon next season. Yeah, Klingon's still the new Klingon. Because, yeah. Is Sorba a better prospect than Duran, Reed, Kessler, and Lively? Lively, no. Duran, maybe. Reed is in Reed Shepherd? No. Borderline. Kessler, probably not. Silver said Young. Yeah, okay. That seems like pronunciation. So it's not Yang. It's Young. Young. Need to figure that out. Hansen Young. Young Hansen. I also find it interesting as we just... Number 12 looks like you spelled Chinese wrong. What on earth does that mean? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. I don't know what I was going to say there about Young. Oh, yeah, is the name... I did see it at one spot spelt like Hun Sen. It's two separate words, but most places I've seen them pushed together as looks like Hansen, like Mbop. Anyway, can Young play power forward for the Blazers? Almost no shot. No, almost no way. The Pelicans stuff is so interesting because there are people who are just like loving what they did. Shout out Kendrick Perkins, and there are others who are like, is this team like got no idea what they're doing? I don't understand that at all. Lots of competition for the worst pick. Can Yang? Yeah. Blazers are going to play five. I mean, they've got three. And Aiton's expiring this season. I don't think that Klingon is 100% a long-term guaranteed starter. ESPN has it as Y Hansen, which means nothing. It is said Young Hansen because surnames go first, but Young is the family name. All right, so we've got pick 17, which is the Wolves. Looks like... Oh, it is. It's Johan Berenger, which is a really interesting pick. Berenger, very young, very tall, very Gobert. Very Gobert. In terms of skill set, in terms of being French, he's not the athlete that Gobert is. Literally nobody is. Gobert, one of the best conditioned 7-foot athletes of all time. He will obviously be a limited player early on, but Gobert is getting old. Naz Reid may or may not leave. That's a pick that I actually think is pretty good. I don't, again, there are other, I would have taken, guess what? You want to hear something repeated? I would have taken Jace Richardson there. But I don't hate Boranger at that spot to Minnesota. It makes sense need-wise. It just gives them a nice backup plan behind Gobert. Again, he's just not going to play early on. Again, one of those situations where in Dynasty, we're getting nothing out of this. Nothing. I forgot that Portland has Robert Williams. Oh, my God. Just, you know what? With all this madness, I think we've all forgotten the Nets took Jigo Demon at 8. Remember when that happened? Holy shit. Johan Beranger goes at 17 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Which, again, is totally okay. His offensive game is incredibly limited. Oops, as I put the wrong thing up there. Incredibly limited. That was the Wizards. They didn't pick Beranger. I'm just going to move that off the screen. I think that's it. Yeah. I think it's a solid pick. Other guys you could have taken there without really any question, but really good pick. Jace Richardson, Nolan Traore are my two guys left that I've got in tier 4. And then there's Yakuchonis, Newell, and McNeely in tier 5 that I've got left. So, fine. What is going on with... I cannot understand this. How does Portland cook on that trade, right? Get something back for taking Coward, which didn't make sense at 11 necessarily. And then you take Young. Why? And it's not even the top 3 dumbest moves of the day. I mean, maybe it is. Because I don't think this guy was a top 30 guy. Yep. And not only is Yakuchonis going to be there at 19 probably, but Jace Richardson's going to be there. Traore is going to be there. We talked about this in some of the early mock drafts we did. Is that there's point guards in this certain zone of drafts, but you can wait on guys and get guys that are very similar, 10, 15 picks later. And they reach up for bloody Demon. Oh my God. The Blazers are keeping Young. Young Hansen was in the stands. It wasn't even the green room. So he had to come down like he was in the Shield onto the stage, did he? I didn't watch it, but oh my God. Portland really think they contend. If they thought they were contending, Matty, they wouldn't pick Hansen Young, I'm pretty sure. But I also don't know what they're doing. Oh my God. That is honestly crazy. I do... and the picks that I like, Sorba, unbelievable pick. Beranger, I like it. I'm not perfect, but I like it. But some of this other shit is, maybe it turns out to be great. Also, probably not. Bro, now we're Washington. They took Tre Johnson. They got Bub. I like Jace Richardson because I think he's good, but I'm not sure the fit's really there, is it? Huh. So who else could I take here for Washington? Wouldn't take Yakuchonis. I'd take Asa Newell. Yeah, I'd take Asa Newell here, I think. As much as I like Jason, maybe from the Wizards, I can't really be too picky, so maybe I do take Jace, because I love Jace. I wouldn't take Traore, I don't think. I would... Yeah, it's either Newell or Richardson here for me. God. You know what? You know what's also funny about this? Is that the Bulls come out of this as one of the best drafting teams. How is that possible? And the Bulls didn't take a Lithuanian. Unbelievable as well. No, someone just tweeted me no live stream this year and then deleted it. No, we are here. We are out there. Good call, Andy, that this might be you to have 4 ends at the back end because there is some real good picks available. Oh, okay. I am very worried about what Washington's going to do here. I'm very worried. I hope they're smart. I get the feeling that what they do is going to be bad from a fantasy perspective. Oh, God. Just some wild stuff. Can Essengay and Buzelis play together? Yeah, I think they can, yeah. I think they can. They're both like tall, 6'10", 6'11", but they're not stiffs. They're not centers. One's a good rim protector. One's a good driver. One's a good foul drawer. The shooting is iffy a little bit, but I think they can, yes. Who we got at 16 here? Any word on this? I think it might be Yakichonis. I'm a little worried. Yeah. Yakichonis again, what? Shouldn't really... We'll see. Walter Clayton, are you actually... What is actually going on here? Walter Clayton. What? Walter Clayton Jr. to the Wizards at 18. Are they going to take Yakichonis the Nets at 19? Walter Clayton, he's 22. He's a really good shooter. Played really well for Florida. They got Bub, they got Tre. Someone said, are you concerned about Jason's height? Yeah, I am. I am a little bit concerned, but he's got actually quite a long wingspan. I think his feel, his passing, his shooting is all really good. It is a little bit of a worry, for sure, right? I am worried about that. But yeah. Walter Clayton is a crazy pick. There's just so many crazy things going on here. Trading the pick. Is this pick being traded? Anyway, I'm not sure. What's wrong with Clayton? Like, he's fine. He's a little undersized. He's not terrible. Like, he's a pretty good shooter, but he's old. He's a 22-year-old senior point guard. I don't love that. I don't really understand it. Like, what's the point of it? Now the Nets have got really good options available to them. Now, I heard rumor that this was going to be... Is there any talk on a trade? Just a very, very strange pick. Traded to Utah, apparently. It is. Okay, traded to Utah. All right. It makes less sense. It makes... Does it even make sense now? They have 1 million guards already, we know this, but at least they didn't draft one in the first round. And I don't worry about Sexton, I don't worry about Clarkson, but I'm not talking about an elite prospect here in Walter Clayton. So he's clearly behind George. He's probably behind Collier. The shooting is useful, and he will eventually be able to replace Sexton and Clarkson. But yeah, whew. All right, Walter Clayton goes to Utah. Still way too early for me. I'd love to know, what did they get back? I assume that they traded away that pick at 2021. Yeah, that's what I assume. Again, so many better options than Walter Clayton at this spot. I don't understand what the possible appeal of that is for Utah or Washington, honestly. Just some crazy, yeah. Could he be good? Fine. I don't love Yakuchonis, but I'd very clearly have had him there. Asa Newell would have made a lot more sense. Not necessarily as much for the Jazz, but like, bloody hell, man. Jake Fisher says, a Nugget source texted me Chinese Jokic about the Blazers selection. Okay, no worries. I'm sure. Utah sent 21 and second-round picks for Walter Clayton. Totally fine. I wouldn't even take Walter Clayton at 21, I don't think. So, actually, Washington, you did very well. You did very well to move back and get some seconds. Not that the seconds are going to be great, necessarily, but you got something out of it, which is a W. 2 future seconds as well. Holy shit. Okay. 21, 43, and 2 future... Wait, hang on. 21, 43, and 2 future seconds? Sorry, what? 4 picks to move up 3 spots to draft a 22-year-old smallish point guard. What the hell? What the helly? Oh, shit. That, bro, what? I don't understand that. I don't understand that volume. Yego's about to prove me wrong. I hope everybody that I doubt proves me wrong. I hope Yego Demon proves me wrong. He might not. The Jazz must see something. Yeah, not sure what it is, but yeah. Danny, well, it's not Danny, it's his son making those picks, isn't it? Austin Ainge washed. I just don't understand it. The Wizards have a few unks on their squad. It's all unks, man. That team is going to be impossible to project from a fantasy perspective unless more trades go down, really. Like, it's really weird. Cedric Coward will prove me wrong. Everyone's going to prove me wrong. I hope they all do. I don't actually know what I said that was so bad about Coward. I just said he's a little bit older. We got a very small sample size. I wouldn't have taken him at 11. I definitely wouldn't have given up those picks for him. Sure, he's going to prove me wrong. Go for it. Everyone can prove me wrong. Okay. Who is... We should probably move on to pick 19 now. Which is... Oh, it is. It's your mates, the Brooklyn Nets. I have absolutely no problem if they took Jace or Yakuchonis here, even after they took Devin. Because guess what? I don't believe in Devin, and I think having multiple options to see what happens is totally okay. Stephen A is screaming over Clayton. Yeah, that's how you know it's bad. Even Traore is a good pick here. I don't care if you take another point guard here with this pick. Yeah, I think they should. My best available. Good question. Let's go through it. It's Jace Richardson, as people very clearly know. I'm very much higher on him than most. Nolan Traore. I've got there Yakuchonis, Newell, McNeely, and then a tier down is Clifford, Fleming, Reynaud, Wolf, Small, Kalkbrenner. Apparently, Kendrick Perkins didn't know that Jordan Poole didn't play for the Wizards. Can anyone chat? Can you confirm that? He didn't know that Clayton wasn't going to the Wizards, but he also didn't know that Poole was there. Bro, can chat, is that true? What is Sleeper, the terrible fantasy platform? Keeps tweeting Shams with the worst draft takes I've ever seen. Walter Clayton Jr. is such a dog. No one cares, Sleeper. What are you on about? Where is... I can't believe they traded... They got 4 draft picks for moving up 3 spots. Again, 43, who cares? 2 futures, not that big of a deal. But then to do it for... I don't... At least, hey, Utah, you're not New Orleans. You're not Portland or Memphis. Brooklyn, you need to, I believe, redeem yourself after whatever that first pick was. I mean, I know what the pick was. I just don't know why you would have done it. 18 picks into the draft and Utah is the clear winner. Really, Bobby Marks? Atlanta is the clear winner, I think. But anyway, not necessarily from a draft perspective, but just for what they did. Because that pick could be unbelievable. We will see. We will see. Okay. Brooklyn Nets. When is my first mock draft going to be? End of August. Portland have got Ayton, Klingon, Rob Williams, and now Young Hansen. They will not all be on the team, I'm guessing, immediately. Sleeper thought that the Pelicans got fleeced in the deal today. Bruh. Nolan Traore to the Nets. As much as it's not Jace Richardson, I'm in. I had Traore pretty high. Higher than this, and I've got no problem with going with another point guard there. One that I think will be able to shoot. I like Nolan Traore at this point. His numbers for the whole season aren't ideal. He was a top 5 prospect heading into this season. He shot really well the second half of the year. He's a very good passer. I think that I would have taken him ahead of... I had him ahead of Demon. I would have taken him ahead of Demon. And there you go. I like that pick a lot. That's solid for me. Nolan Traore. I picked 19 for the Brooklyn Nets. I like it. Now it is Miami. And this one, yeah. Jace Richardson, you should be doing. You absolutely should be doing that. But I don't know they will. Some of these these trade ups are horrific for some of these teams. I love this from Brooklyn though. This is a good pick. I would have taken Jace, but it's hard for me to argue too much about Traore at this point. Good. That makes Again, you got so many first round picks. I would just be trying to find a point guard who works. I don't think Demon will. Traore may not, but give yourself the option. Well, I'm very, very intrigued to see where we go from here. I don't really do many player comps, so I don't really have one for Traore. No one really stands out. Unless it's something that easily pops into my mind and go, wow, I can see that. I don't dive into that much. Let's Good call, Big T. He says the Nolan pick feels like Jalen Johnson, a former top 5 prospect that fell and might blow up. The thing with that is that you can make the arguments other way. And see a little Cam Reddish, who are trash. All right, that happens. But I do like Tre a lot. This is pick 20. Ace and Newell to the Wiz, and we call it a day for Wiz fans. That would be a good pick, actually. Tre and Fears seem similar. No, one of them can shoot. And one of them is a little bit bigger. And that's Tre. I do not think they're similar at all. Campaign or Rondo for Tre. I don't really see Rondo. Payne I can maybe see. Last year you compared Tyler Kolek to a mailman. Yeah, I did. You're right. Actually worked out not a bad player comp, did it? No. You know what I called him? No, I called him someone that goes back to college and owns a car dealership. Goes back to his hometown to own a car dealership. That's what I called him. I'm pretty sure. Any team want to take a reach on Alex Tui? I mean, I don't think so. He'll get drafted, I'm pretty sure, but not yet. It's Miami's pick. What are they doing with their selection? Ace and Newell, I like. Jace Richardson, I like, clearly. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Then Wizards up at 21, and Newell will be really good for them there. People are complaining about the Nets, like, picking Tre at 19. What? Well, it is interesting. People have very different opinions on things, and I love that. It's great to have different opinions. I don't see how that would make the Nets a laughable franchise at all. It is a completely smart and common sense thing to do. Completely common sense. The Nets plan to pair Demon and Tre in their backcourt. What? That's stupid. What? Okay, whatever. Sleeper should spend less time tweeting and actually more time fixing their platform. RIP Cam Thomas. No, look, Cam Thomas is not very good anyway. He might be gone through whatever means, but the 19th pick in the draft or the 8th pick in the draft, like, Thomas is better than, as much as I don't think Thomas is a good player, he's better than these guys clearly right now. So it's not impacting him that much this season unless he's dealt. Please Miami take a point guard. Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they don't. All they are, they're taking Yakuchonis, which is, again, wouldn't be the guy that I take, but I like it. It means they're not in love with Davion Mitchell, thinking that he's the savior there. W decision from them. Davion had some moments, but W. Yakuchonis is, I think he fell too far, very clearly in this spot. As much as I would have taken other guys here, this is a W pick from Miami. I think it makes a lot of sense to get Yakuchonis there. He's a solid assist player. The shooting is iffy for sure. The defense is iffy. I don't think he's great. But I think it's a pretty good pick. And now we get to Washington at 21. So I like that pick of Yakuchonis going at 20. Yeah, I like that. He is starting, I assume. No, you should never assume that the 20th pick in the draft is walking in and starting on opening night. Absolutely no way. No chance. That's just not going to happen, I don't think. You need a lot to change. Yeah, there's a lot that needs to change for that to... Yeah, that's unlikely. Don't make... like... Rookies starting, I think we've had like 1 or 2 rookies start opening night this season and 1 or 2 the year before. It just doesn't happen very much. Especially with the way that the NBA is really strong. Rosters are really strong. That's why we need expansion. There's a lot of good players around. So these guys who are rookies who might have started 10 years ago on teams, there's no chance for that to happen, I don't think, anymore. Yakuchonis is a higher upside Jaime Jaquez. I think they're not even remotely close as players. For example, Yakuchonis is about 4 years younger, when one's a point guard and one's not. So, no. Okay. People go, I love Yakuchonis, but why? What the fuck, Miami? What? What's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with it. I think it's pretty good. Correct, Matt. There's almost no chance that he starts. How do I feel on Beranger? Really good. I would have taken possibly someone else there, but also fine. Totally good pick. It's going to take a long time to get him to where he needs to get to, given the players in front of him, but it's a really strong pick. Again, and not all of these picks have been really strong. 21 is the Wizards. It should be Asa Newell. Again, I would take old mate Jace Richardson here. Jason, Tre Johnson, not sure about that. Really, the Wizards are in a bit of a weird spot here as well. Really like that. I don't love Yakuchonis. I didn't have him as a top 10 guy, but at 20, and a team that doesn't have a point guard, shout out to Terry Rozier, it makes a ton of sense to me. He won't start immediately, but it makes a lot of sense to get him at that spot. Jace Richardson, maybe I'm just way off on him. It's possible. He's good though. If Jace falls into the second round, then I'm out on him. I'm done if that's the case. Like I'm not going to buy into him that much. I just think teams are making some bad decisions. Any centers you can see going to the Hornets at 29 is a good question. Let's have a look at my board. Who do I have? Rayno, Wolf, Kalkbrenner. They'd be the guys you want there. So yes. Do I think someone will take a flyer on Sikorsky? Yeah, I think there's a decent chance that, yeah. Where are we? Come on, Washington, who are you picking? Someone said, what's on my wrist? It's my new watch, but it's not that new anymore. There you go. Shiny stuff. Okay. Can we get another pick? I think it does feel Asa Newell. And Asa Newell, Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, Bob Carrington, Tre Johnson. Not bad. Pretty solid group. Pretty solid group. Hard to find any redraft contributors at this point in a draft. We need to see how a lot of stuff plays out from a like in free agency, like what if teams sell guys or trade guys or what opens up. Rookies you think will start? Flagg, yes. Knueppel, yes. Ace, don't think so. Tre Johnson, yes. I agree with that. I agree with those three, but again, we just need to see, don't we? The Washington Wizards are selecting Will Riley. Oh my God. Back-to-back Illinois guys. I don't like Will Riley as a player. I didn't think he was a first-round guy. The size for him is intriguing. No question about that. It's not for me though. It's not a pick that I like at all. So imagine like having pick 18, picking Walter Clayton, trading out of it, getting 4 picks back, and then still, in my opinion, making a bad pick. That's what happened. Okay, so Will Riley is like a 6'8", 6'9" shooting guard, maybe more of a small forward, I don't know. But he is like, what did he shoot? 33% on his threes, not a good free throw shooter. impossibly low steal numbers, and that's a terrible sign. That's a really bad sign. And yeah, does he rebound well? Like, the question with him is, if he's not scoring or shooting, what does he do when he's not a usage player? He's young and he's got size, but I'm not really sure what else he does. Yeah, I don't like it. People thought Rozier would be awesome in Miami. I don't think they did. Did they? I didn't think he would be. Did people actually think that? Maybe someone. I'm sure someone did. You can always find an opinion contrary to anything. Always. But yeah, I did not think he would be awesome. So there you have it. All right. Let's double check. I've got to check my ticker to make sure it's updating things correctly. Oh, Leo DeVries had his 4th game of the season with 3 hits. Let's go, Leo. Jace has not been picked. So it's now pick 22, isn't it? Which is Brooklyn. Again, of course it is. Do they go 3-point guards and take Jace Richardson? No, they should take Asa Newell here. As much as I like Jace Richardson, I don't think taking 3 guys, well, actually, but I have Richardson better than the other 2 anyway. I don't think that, yeah. We will see. Let's go and have a look. How is the ticker looking? Is it working? It's working okay. Jace might go to Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't have a pick, do they? What are my thoughts on the Dogs legend Sam Darcy? Is he going to be the GOAT? I think he might be. I think he might be the GOAT, honestly. He looks ridiculous. Future GOAT is loading. Atlanta doesn't have a pick. So, no. I'm going to guess that someone doesn't go to Atlanta. All right, so there, I'm just looking at... Okay, so now my ticker is ticked. So I'm going to just delete some of these picks so we just keep updated on the most recent selections. Okay, what happened with Mark Williams' trade? I mean, he got traded. 23 is not Atlanta. 23 was traded to Brooklyn. No? My bad. You know what, Kev? You are correct, because that was the Pelicans trade in that idiotic trade from before. My bad, Kev. You are 100% correct on that, because they had 22 and they got rid of it. That's what I was thinking. My bad. You are correct, Ken. That is, I haven't updated my ticker on that either. That is the Hawks. So that is... Jace there would be amazing. You're right. My bad. Colin Murray-Boyles says that everyone talks about his shot not being NBA caliber, but he's been working very hard on it, feeling good about it. Do you promise? Quotes like that, the only thing with quotes like that is that if you don't say those things, saying it means absolutely nothing. Because, yeah, of course you think it's going to be fine. But prove it. What is this next pick? It's Brooklyn again. Who do I want the Padres to acquire at the deadline? Yuri Perez. I don't think we'll get him, though. Yeah, I'd love to get Yuri Perez. Still nothing here on pick 22. I could see Nick Clifford being a pick here, which I wouldn't hate. He's an older player for sure, but he's got abilities in multiple different areas. You know what? Something I don't like about the draft, I'm not going to necessarily even say this for any picks, but like, this guy's the steal of the draft. Like, I've got Jace Richardson really high. He hasn't been picked yet. Is he the steal of the draft? I literally don't know. He's a pick that I would have made, but things can go wrong at any point. It's very hard to say the worst pick, Joe Dumas, or the steal of the draft at this point. It's really hard to make those calls because there's a lot of different factors that go into so many different parts of this. So I'm not, yeah. Anyway, Padres will get Sandy and said they probably will. He's starting to look better though, Sandy, isn't he? Big T, look at that, mate. If you call me a ball knower, I really appreciate that. I'm getting my baseball knowledge up. Yeah. Have the Pels moved on from the Carlo project that never started? Don't know. Well, they obviously didn't really believe in him last season, so maybe. I wouldn't say they necessarily had a project anyway, to be honest. All right, come on. Pick 22. Let's make a selection. Brooklyn, do you go with another point guard? Surely not. Surely, it surely is Ace and Yule here. But I don't know. Jason, that's fair that Young is the worst pick of the draft. It's a bizarre pick. There's a lot of guys in this one that have been weird picks. But he's definitely the lowest. Actually, no. I had Will Riley so far down my board. I had him at like 50. Yeah, I'm just not in on him at all. A steal right that low is a shocking sign. It's so hard to be anything close to good, being able to do nothing in terms of anticipation on ball defensively. It's so hard. And to boot, he didn't even shoot well. I had him way down. I am not in at all. Another interesting guy here would be like Nick Clifford, Asa Newell, Rasheer Fleming would be pretty interesting picks for Brooklyn. And they actually would have chances to start, especially if Cam Johnson is moved. Liam McNeely would work here. Danny Wolf, maybe. I could see Markovic going in this spot as well. Is the draft just on pause? Where's the next pick? The one you want to watch is Boston at 28. That pick could actually be a redraft player, especially if it's Kalkbrenner or Wolf even, because we've seen everyone get the ass, haven't we? From that team. So, hey, shout out to me. Tell me the best moments when you got the ass. And you can use whatever context you want. I will not break this stream into smaller videos, but I will do videos recapping the draft. When we get all the information, I can put it all together in more succinct packages. So no, I won't break this down, but we will do other ones. But why is this taking so long for this pick? I know the draft in general takes so long, but what is the issue with this? Why did Brooklyn go home? It's in Brooklyn. What are we doing? Nets should get Wolf and trade Claxton. They got a lot they can do. Why not hire Nick Clifford? He's old. He's 23. And a lot of his success came as an older player. I am always skeptical of guys who struggle to do stuff as a young player and then take advantage when they've got 5 years on their opponents. And I'm not super convinced of his shooting. Bro, I need to unfollow Sleeper. I'm sick of seeing their replies to stuff. See you later. Drake Powell. Okay. Again, plenty of guys that I would have picked ahead of him. I think Powell could be a first round player, so I'm not not going to tell you that I'm entirely against that. It's just that the other guys who were around would have been, preferable to me. Do you say preferable or preferable? Question of the day. Next up is Atlanta. Sorry to Ken again from before. Okay. Okay. Drake Powell, pick 22 to Brooklyn. He's a 6'6", 20 years old wing, incredibly low usage player. Steal and block numbers are good. Shot well from three, but it's very low. I don't really trust that shot necessarily. He's an interesting bet as a wing because we want wings. They're very valuable players, but yeah, I'm not convinced. He's fine. He's okay there. No super strong opinions on Drake Powell in that spot. Like to say that it's unbelievable or it's terrible or anything along those lines. I just think there are better picks you could have made. Clifford, Newell, Richardson, Fleming, McNeely, even Thero, I think would have been a better pick at that spot. Now it is Atlanta. Atlanta. So they're not going to take a center, I'm guessing. Newell doesn't make a lot. It's surely Jace. Who else could this be? Who else makes sense in this position? Jake Powell is the pick, yeah. You're a little bit behind on the stream. How do I say that word? Yuri. That word, well, for a start, Americans actually spell the word incorrectly. The word is spelt and pronounced aluminium, but Americans decide to leave off that I towards the end and just call it aluminum. Aluminium. Preferably. That's what I say too. Preferably. Are we... Shams, what is this? Reporting on the draft surrounding a potential free agent target for the Miami Heat. I don't care. I don't know who it is you're talking about, and I don't care at this point. So it's 23 now. Atlanta. I don't think it's going to be Jace. Oh, man. It's been a long stream. Just shout out to everyone being here. I appreciate you all here. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's get a pick going. How do I say coup? I say it correctly. Salmon. Salmon. No. Salmon. The Shams free agent thing is Kuminga. Is it? How do I pronounce lieutenant? I know, some people say lieutenant. I don't. That's very British. I say lieutenant. Kuminga to the Heat is a little weird. They got Bam, they got Wiggins, they got Ware. We'll see. Where did we go for our honeymoon? We went to Cabo. Yeah, went to Cabo. Cabo. Went to Cabo. Los Cabos. Exactly. 30-second pick timers. Sweepy, you are double bang. Legendary double bang from you. Pick 23, Atlanta is picking Asa Newell. I like it, but I also, when will he ever play? That's a longer term play, and he's not going to have any options at all immediately. Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu, Chris Porzingis, Mohamed Wayuge, not that he really matters. Newell's a young player, obviously local, University of Georgia. It's going to take time. He's that shot blocking, shooting upside big, who the shooting is not there yet. The rebounding is strong. He's just not going to do anything early on. I think that's relatively clear. There's just no space for him. There's no space for it, but it's just for what you got for trading out of 13 to get to 23 for a guy that could have gone in the lottery, possibly. Absolute W. Unbelievable W from Atlanta. Cooking. Aluminum was first. Ray. I would love to get proof on that. There's no way aluminum was the first pronunciation of that. Surely not. If that's true, I take it back. There is zero chance that is true. I am looking into that. I like Asa Newell there. I like the Asa Newell pick. There's value in it. In terms of fit, whatever. Do I call it a boot or a trunk? I call it a boot. But obviously I know what a trunk is. But I call it a boot. Now we are at pick 24. It's the Thunder. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Pick 24. Imagine they take Jace after they took Sorba. I would feel very vindicated if they do that. But we'll find out. Asa Newell's a solid pick. I like it. Atlanta was considering Newell at 13, so just another unbelievable W from them. Whew. The Nets don't look like they're trading any of their picks, by the way. They've made 3 picks already. All, I'll say smalls. Powell's not really a guard, but he's like 6'6". He's not a big. But they've got 2 more picks left, and there's a lot of bigs at that area. I can see Bogoljub Markovic going and maybe getting stashed. Although that doesn't really happen that much anymore. Yeah. Doesn't really happen that much anymore. I haven't had a chance to look up that aluminum story. Let me have a look. There's just... I need to find out. All right. Let's do some reading on that as we wait for this next pick. You know what? You are correct. It was a British guy that... It was originally called aluminum, then it got changed to aluminium. But when was that? What year was that? 1808. That's an interesting story. I don't... Aluminium it is. For me, anyway. Let's get into these last picks. OKC at 24. Come on, Kings. Cook. We've got like 7 picks left here. And then, yeah, we get to work on doing the rest of the stuff that we do. I got a week left of live shows, and by live I mean recording in the moment. Then I'm away for a few weeks, so there'll be some pre-recorded stuff coming. Just not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet. What do you want me to do if the Thunder draft Jace Richardson? What should I do? What do you want me to whip out? Boob? What do you want me to do? What should I do? Come on, let's go. Give me some comments in the chat. David, that's so wild about that aluminium story. Anthony, I don't know how to gauge that. What's my track record? I get some right, I get some wrong, which everyone does. I'd say I've got a decent enough record. Aluminium was adopted to align to the naming of all the other elements. Oh yeah, that makes sense actually. Wow, everyone's really digging in on the aluminium stuff here. If you are just listening to this after the fact, go back and check the live chat on the YouTube at this point in the show to get for some aluminum discussion. I don't have a beer with me, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I'll shave live on stream. I show meat. Ooh. Nick Clifford at 24. So they didn't take Jace, but they're taking Nick Clifford, which is he's a very good pick for the Thunder. It's a very strong pick there. He's a wing who can handle the ball, who can shoot a little bit, who won't need to do really any of those things. Well, shoot he will need to do for the Thunder, but obviously the requirements of what he needs there, or what they need, are pretty small. Smart pick from smart organization. Look, you'll see that he's 23 already. He had 28 usage last season. He averaged 1.2 steals and shot 38 on threes, but never will he be asked to be a usage guy like that in the NBA. Oh, hang on. The Kings are trading for 24. There you go. All right, so the Kings have got Nick Clifford at 24. Actually, don't hate it. I don't know what they gave up to get it. I like that from Sacramento because they had like a dearth of forward-sized prospects. And he's probably more like shooting guard small forward than small forward power forward. But a guy that is probably the same age as Keegan Murray, which I don't know if that's a good thing or not. He is a nice low, like he doesn't have to be a high usage guy. He's a nice connector. Someone said Keegan Murray 2.0. I can see why you would say that. He's a little, I think Keegan is a little different as a player, obviously, but yeah, I think he's not a starter, Nick. I don't think, but he's a pretty solid pick in that position. I just like to see what they gave up because it's the Kings and it's the Thunder. So if I'm a Kings fan, Kings, are you there? I would be shitting myself at what I gave up to the Thunder with this pick. I would be very scared. Someone said he's Max Christie 2.0. Like, sure, but isn't he already 3 years older than Max? Like, now? Still? He obviously did more in college than Max did. God, I hate to think what's going to happen here with the Kings, man. This is going to be crazy. Where are the Kentucky guards? It's a good question. This is not a Kentucky guard stacked class. Who are the Kentucky guards in this class? Let me try to think. I'll get back to you, but I don't think there's any who should have sort of be going in this area. Let's have a look. Kentucky guards. I'll just try and jog my brain here. I know there's someone who's like a second round guy. Oh, Kobe Bryant, that's the one, yeah. He's like an older guy. He's 22, almost 23. Yeah, I like him as a shooter, early second round pick. Tell us what they are trading, please. Because this is going to be like the really important part of this. Because it's a team I don't trust. And a team that you should trust. So I would love to know what they gave up. I'm very scared. I think they'll be okay. I am very scared. And then next up, we'd have the Orlando Magic. And that could be a Jace situation. You know what? Part of the reason Jace is falling, not part of the reason, it's size, but we sort of knew he was going to fall because the NBA didn't invite him to the green room. Amari Williams, Kentucky, correct, and then Kobe Bryant, the other one, yeah. Wolf to the Magic, maybe. There's a lot. Magic have got so many different ways to go here. Draft looks really bad in terms of fantasy. For redraft, it's really bad. Like, it is quite bad. It's just been quite... There's a thing here from NBA TV saying K is a special letter for the Knueppel family as Kon talks about it. That's so, like... It's sus, man. Why? I've met a few, like, families who are, like, just big into the letter K. It's sus when your surname starts with K as well. Yeah. It's sus. I would like to know a little bit more. Wait, his name's Kon Knueppel II. That's unbelievable as well. Do we have a middle name for Kon? It's going to be very key. Very important. What did they give up? Please, let's laugh. Maybe. Oh, the Magic are taking Jace Richardson. Let's go. Now, of course, they have Desmond Bane. They have Jalen Suggs. So Jace is a bench player, but I think his shooting is going to be really good. I like it. He's not going to be able to do much initially, but I love that they took him in the first round. He should have gone in the first round. W pick Orlando. W pick from Orlando. Again, it's not one that's going to happen immediately. It may not ever happen, but him going in round 1 helps me with the dynasty valuation there. I like it. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. Can someone tell me what Sacramento gave up so I know whether to tell them they were good or bad? That would be key for me here. Orlando Magic. Cole Anthony slot. Yeah, initially, yeah. Yep. Seems pretty obvious. Bane into KCP slot. I don't believe in Mr. Black at all, but does Jay slot ahead of Mr. Black? Not initially, no. We'll see how it goes. It's very hard to see the number 25 pick take over the number 6 pick who's in year 3. But long term, I can see it happening, yeah. No way it starts with a K, Anthony. There's no way Kon's name starts with a K. I'm so sorry. There's no way. I need to find proof of that. Can somebody tell me what they gave up? Kings trade their protected Spurs first round pick, protected first to 1 to 16, and it rolls into 2 seconds if it doesn't convey. Actually, pretty good. Totally fine with that. San Antonio in 2027 is going to be better than that. Very possible they're better than 24. Fine. Not really sure what Presti's doing in that spot. Like, that doesn't seem like... That's not a win for him. That's a W. Sacramento. There you go. Well done. I like that. His dad played in Orlando. Did he? He probably did. I'm trying to think. Really love that, though. Really love that. I'm sure you're aware, I'm a big proponent of what old mate Jace Richardson should be able to do. Oh, there you go. He did play for the Magic. That's really good for them. W. Now it's the Nets. Surely a center comes here. Danny Wolf. I think Danny Wolf is good for them at this spot for Brooklyn. Who else do I have available on my board? McNeely. Ooh, Cam Johnson replacement. Rashia Fleming. Markovic, I think, will be one of these picks. Kalkbrenner could easily be one of them. Adu Thero be an excellent pick here, I think. Oh, man, I love that for Jace, though. Lot of options here. Brooklyn's got 2 in a row. Look, maybe this is not a steal from Orlando, but I like it. I think it's, yeah, I'm very happy with that pick. The Suns are going to be like punching air now that they couldn't draft a Michigan State guy. Yeah, really solid. I'm running out of steam a bit here. Not that we're still going all the way through, obviously, but I am exhausted talking for 3 hours. All right, what else is going on in the chat? Hello, everybody. Magic the favorites in the East? I don't think so. Cleveland exists. I don't think Danny Wolf will slide to 31, honestly. I think he's going to go here. The Magic getting Bane and Jace Richardson is huge. Bro said Jace Richardson's dad. Yeah? What about it? Why is that funny? Yeah, massive fan of the Pels. Who's the Dalton Connect of this draft where people cope as if he was a steal? There hasn't... Oh, Derek Queen, maybe. As much as... I think Queen in isolation can be an okay player. Nothing quite the same as Connect, where everyone's losing their mind about how much of a steal it was. Shout out to that guy that keeps dropping into the YouTube comments to tell me how I don't know shit about anything because I said that Dalton Connect didn't have a good year and I don't think he's a very good player. I look tired. I am tired. I've been live for 3 hours. The beard's out of control. It's my face. You know what you can do? You know how you can have an opinion on how my face looks? When you sit on it. That's it. Yeah? What else have we got? Who is next? I mean, I know who's next, but who's the next pick? It's the Nets. You got 2 picks, man. Just double bang them. Would Queen have went first last season? No, not to me. Not at all. Am I headed to Vegas this year? I am, yeah. I'm leaving like in a week and a half. Can these dickheads pick? Yeah, I should, Yuri. I've got other ones, and I just, you know what? Given my mental illnesses, they're out of sight. I had like a big stack of them, and then I put them away, so I just forget to change them. But yeah, they're in the cupboard. Maybe I should change them for tomorrow's show if I remember. Thank you for reminding me, though. I should do it. It'll be a shock to your system to see different artwork there. Come on. I do believe in Joe Hendry, Kobe Batista. I'm sure you're Dave's son, so yeah, I do. What time is it for me? It is 1:08 p.m. Yep, got to that one. The pick protections, got all the news. Calvin says, with all the injuries, you do more stars and scrubs than balance for auction drafts? Almost no. Almost zero chance that I would do that. It almost never works out. But I don't know, because you know what I do? I project all 500 NBA players, and then I see how it looks. And telling you off the top of my head, that would need a lot of stuff to change for that strategy to not be optimal. Maybe it will, but I don't know that yet. Who's my AFL team? Welcome to the show for the first time. I am the Bulldogs is my AFL team, hence why Sam Darcy's the GOAT. Pick, have I missed this next pick or we just... Oh, Ben Saraf. Okay. Wouldn't have been who I picked. I like his size. The passing ability is good. He's not... Yeah, like he's fine. The shooting stuff is pretty rough for him. I don't hate it. There are other guys that I would have picked here. They've got pick 27. He's a nice wing size player, but it is another ball handler. They are just going, we need multiple ball handlers, which is very interesting, isn't it? They got three. Saraf, theoretically is a point guard, but he's like a point forward. What is he, like 6'7", 6'5"? Only 6'5", only, Jesus. Bad true shooting. So another point guard? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't mind it. I would have done a lot more than that. A lot of people would like him a lot more. Still laughing at the Hanson Yang shield comment. It was a good hair. I'm proud of it. The Nets at pick 26 take Ben Sarah from Ratio Farm Ulm. Ratio Farm Ulm with 2 picks in the top 26. I do, Cookie. I do like what the Kings gave up. Who's my NFL team? Blue asks. It is the Miami Dolphins. So, yeah, we have not had a good run of things, have we? Miami is my NFL team. Ben Saraf goes to Brooklyn. Cade is going to be a first-round pick in redrafts. Yeah, I would agree with that. Cam Thomas to the moon. What moon? You know how bad he is? Do I use credit card benefits when traveling? What do you mean by that? I don't know. What does that mean? Credit card benefits? I don't know what you mean. Cannot wait to be proven correct on Jace Richardson. I might not be. People's opinion on the Nets draft is very wide range of opinions. Someone just said the Nets have had one of the biggest fumbles I've ever seen. I'm not sure about that. It's been okay. But they've also drafted 3 international point guards, which is intriguing. And then Drake Powell. Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't like it. Maybe I don't like their draft. No, actually, you know what? I agree. Shithouse. Demon. Yeah. Drake Powell. Whatever. Fine. Traore. Like it. Saraf. Not really. Yeah. Yuck. But you know what? The process of we want a ball handler. Let's just try a lot of things. I get it. But the problem there is Traore is probably the best shooter of those 3 ball handlers. And I'm not sure he's a good shooter. He might be. But the other 2 are just putrid. Very interesting. What have we... I've got the right thing up on my screen here. I do. Oh, I need to start adjusting my thing again. Ayo. That's what happens if you don't wear Skims. You have to adjust your thing all the time. You know what I mean? I have lost my mind. Lost my mind. Okay. In Traore. In hindsight, you're wrong a lot. I mean, sure. So is everybody. No conversion fee, travel insurance, airline points. Is that what you mean by credit card benefits? Only the US has credit card points. That's not true. We have them here, but my credit card doesn't. But my card that I use is it refunds all international transaction fees. So I guess yes. Pick 27. This is going to be absolutely amazingly important. The Celtics pick at 28. Danny Wolf going at 27. Okay. Danny Wolf at 27 to Brooklyn. Opportunity not there immediately because Claxton's around, but a pretty solid fantasy profile. A little on the older side, not outrageously old. Obviously, the Nets just need players. They've taken all 5 guys. They've used all 5 draft picks, which I didn't think they would do. But that's okay. And now is where it gets interesting because Boston, I think, has to be in play for Rasheer Fleming. But Ryan Kalkbrenner is really one to watch here. Because if Kalkbrenner, he could honestly be a starting center on this Celtics team day one and be actually really fantasy relevant. That's where it's going to get really interesting. Interesting. When I go to the US, is it more affordable than Australia? I don't know. Probably yes. Probably yeah. Although we have to pay, obviously conversion. The exchange rate stuff makes it harder. But as a general rule, yeah. Yeah, it is. All right, so Danny Wolf. Next up, Danny Wolf. Is it Dick Wolf's son? Ba-bow. If I still did sound drops, that is definitely the D Wolf sound drop. Ba-bow. Law and Order legend, Danny Wolf. All right, we're workshopping. Boston, Kalkbrenner would make a ton of sense. Rasheer Fleming would make a lot of sense. The Lakers shifting ownership does make a big difference because the Buses, let's be honest, tight asses. The new owners, unbelievable amount of money. So, they don't have to worry about as many sort of... I just bit my cheek. That hurts. Oh, my God. They don't have to worry as much about, what if we have to pay luxury tax, which the Lakers unbelievably did worry about. But more importantly, maybe they can hire a shooting coach, more scouts, better front office, better facilities, better rehab, because they didn't have those things. They were terrible at it. So, yeah, it makes a massive difference. Who's my Premier League team? I don't really follow it very much. It is Newcastle, but I don't really follow it that much. Whew. Danny Wolf. Another point guard. I say that jokingly, but he did play point guard last season. I'll tell you what happened with Mark Williams' trade to the Lakers. The Lakers panicked. Someone whispered in their ear and said, I think you might have paid too much, but also they found an issue in one of the scans not with his foot, not with his back, with his knee. That's the report that I heard. But I think it was bullshit. Ba-boom. Hugo Gonzalez. Now that is horrific. Hugo Gonzalez to Boston. It's not horrific that Gonzalez is going to be bad because whatever, he might be fine. But it's horrific we were hoping that we would get somebody from a fantasy point of view that would be able to step into a role. And Gonzalez is not going to do that. Not at all. He barely played for Real Madrid last season. He's a highly touted youth prospect who was buried on a professional team, and obviously the Celtics are sort of tearing things down. He might not even come over this season. So I don't love that in terms of our fantasy appeal of it. Gonzalez in that spot is fine, from a value proposition point of view. But again, I still think there were better options out there. I had him at 35. Okay. Danny Wolf is Israeli as well as Ben Seraph. What is going on? The Nets going crazy with the internationals then. That's unbelievable. It's really at least it's a strategy. Just some wild stuff. Hugo Gonzalez goes to Boston. Those numbers are pretty bad, even when you convert them out to per 36. He's like a wing, point forward sort of guy. It's going to take a long time to get there. What did Sacramento? Sander was a future Spurs protected first round pick in 2027. So not that much. The Celtics is... Not the Celtics. The Nets picks are pretty strange. But again, there is a plan. We can see the plan. Get some European ball handlers, apparently. Yeah, that's all that they gave up. The Kings is that protected Spurs pick. We've got 2 picks left. 29, which is Charlotte. Ooh! Kalkbrenner. And he could have a literal impact within a month or two with Nurkic and Diabate, the other centers there. That's interesting, isn't it? Phoenix, yeah. I'm not gonna do a big recap at the end of this because I'm tired and we've been going for 3 hours and 20 minutes. There will be stuff tomorrow, and you've got my thoughts through all of this, and we'll do the full sort of breakdown over the next few days. Gonzalez is an interesting pick. It's a longer term play. Still can't get over that Demon went at 8, that the Pelicans did whatever the hell it was they did, that Portland drafted Yang. Like, I don't understand. Who's picking next? It is Charlotte. There is pick 30. Pick 30 is the Clippers. Not sure what you mean. Why is there no pick 30? The Clippers are at 30. Correct, my NBA team was the Bulls at one point in time, but it is no longer. Because working in this sphere, I can't really have a favored team, and they're also a bunch of idiots. So they don't deserve fandom. The big gelato, it'd be hard for him to find those rotation minutes early on, but I think he's just going to be really good, and I think they cooked with that pick. Liam McNeely and Rasheer Fleming still there. Who? Charlotte. Kalkbrenner. That's who I think I want. Who is my best available, actually? Oh, it's Rasheer Fleming. No, it's not. It's Liam McNeely. I don't think he makes a ton of sense for Charlotte, though. Rasheer Fleming's not a bad pick. I think Fleming's the one to go for here. Or Maxime Reynaud. Maxime Reynaud. That's, yeah, okay. Reynaud, Kalkbrenner, Thero, Fleming. Good options. Reynaud will be very interesting. Last Celtics international stash, Yamada, maybe? Or was Yabu a stash? He might have been. I can't remember. Come on. Hornets, let's make a pick. Come on. We've got 2 more picks. Charlotte at 29, the Clippers at 30. Begarin, yeah. Was he or Yamada? I don't remember, but you're right. Begarin was one of them too. Wow, Henry Abbott says, I doubt that the Blazers front office thought that Yang Han-sen was the best available player. The team is for sale. The first question I'd investigate, might a prominent Chinese player help the team's sale price? Conspiracies abound, huh? Conspiracies abound. Henry Abbott also said that Cedric Coward should be the number 2 overall pick, so that's an outrageous call. Who is this pick? Come on. Clippers going to go with Maxime Reynaud? Don't know. That would make a little bit of sense. I can see that. These bright lights in this studio here are burning my eyes, man. 3.5 hours in. Okay, come on, give us the thing. Oh, Real Madrid won the ACB Championship today, and then Jigo gets drafted the same day. W for him. I don't know who's cooking Alex, but I hope it's me. Why is the Yang pick so bad? I just don't think he's going to be able to cut it in the... Like, he's a good passer. Chinese prospects have very rarely translated over. I think most people thought he was a second-round guy. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not so bad. I just think there were a lot of other guys in that spot that you could have gone with. Charlotte. Liam McNeely. Okay. McNeely didn't shoot well at UConn. I do believe he's a good shooter. You can play the 3 or the 4. He won't do that immediately because Miller exists and Knueppel's there and Bridges is there. Long term, I like it. They still very clearly don't have a center that's not Diabate or Nurkic, so that's some hidden fantasy value. Absolutely. I think that Nurkic will get first crack at that, honestly. Whether you want Diabate there or not, I don't know. Did not have McNeely in my top 20 in the mock, says Kookie. I'll have a look. Just give me a sec. I had him much higher than this, I know that. Oh, I didn't even update the abbreviation on that pick. So McNeely shot just 32% from 3 and 38 overall, which is not very good. Solid enough rebounder. Yeah, not bad. Josh Lloyd doesn't know anything about basketball. You know what, Derek? I know how to spell no. So I've probably got that advantage over you. Unlucky. Where did I have Liam McNeely? I had him at 19, so yes, I did have him higher than that. And now we get to pick 30, which is old mates, the LA Clippers. I'm just going to update my tracker so I can get a lot of my stuff going. Rasheer Fleming is probably the no-brainer here. Yeah, Rasheer Fleming's the no-brainer, or Reynaud. They're the two guys I'm looking at probably. Charlotte not... Charlotte not beating the drafting white players allegations as well. Shout out to Cody Zeller. Or getting Mason Plumlee. But, yeah, McNeely's an interesting pick for them. Last pick before we can get out of here. And then I can go do more work, of course. Last pick. Come on, let's make the pick. Someone said, doesn't Charlotte have some early seconds? They do. They've got back-to-back picks at 33 and 34, I think. So they could get a center there. And given Kalkbrenner is still available and Reynaud is still available, they're probably the two guys that after them, it gets a little thin. I'd be looking to get Adu Thero if I was them as well. Fleming's more of a 4. Who else is available still? I don't think Johnny Broom's not going to really move the needle for me. I don't think Zakarski would go that early. Okay, come on. Let's get the last pick done. Charlotte's abbreviation is CLT. You've seen their jerseys. What about their airport? That's the code. I didn't make it up. I'm not a CLT merchant. I mean, I am, but I didn't make it up. That's just how it goes, unfortunately for them. It's the Suns. What's the Suns? This pick's not the Suns. It's the Hornets. This is the problem with the trades. Is they mislead you if you are watching on TV. Johnny Broom's name is Jani. Is it? So that's a terrible pronunciation. Jani Broom. Yuck. All right, I've got to get better at that then. I will improve on that. I'll check into it. Pick 30 is the Clippers. Will we get a pick in soon? How's the ESPN coverage been as you've been double screening this? Stephen A with a lot of insights for you. Perk been cooking, has he? He's talking about who had the best night. Who did? Who's talking about that? What the hell? Bro thinks Suns won the draft. What? Why? Yannick Conan Niederhauser goes at pick number 30, which is a backup center. It's one of the backup centers that exists for sure. It probably wouldn't be the selection that I would make there, considering there was other guys that I liked more. But, oh well. Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Which team has the worst front office? That's okay, Phoenix. That's fair. It's hard time sometimes in chat, isn't it, to know who you're actually responding to. I don't like Yannick at this spot. I'm not a big Conan Niederhauser guy. He's got some quite bad advanced stats as well. There's a lot of interesting players available here for round 2. So, my best availables: Rasheer Fleming, Javon Small, Maxime Reynaud, Bogu Markovic, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Cam Jones, Adu Thero, Noah Pender, Ryan Nembhard, Sion James, Kobe Breyer, Alex Tui-Amari Williams, Micah Peavy are my best guys available. And I am tired. I'm not tired. What do I think about Hugo Gonzalez? I think he's not going to impact much this season. He's an interesting player with a good youth pedigree. Didn't really see much at Real Madrid. The shooting's a little bit of a worry. He can handle the ball. I like his size. Could just be one of those sort of Euros who gets a little bit lost, sort of no positional, like no set positional value in the NBA. He's okay. He's fine. I'm not super into it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to boot because I'm tired. And the top of the second round is going to be interesting tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of videos coming, don't worry. Dynasty for points leagues and category leagues. Draft recap videos. It's all coming up. All right, chat, if you're here. Last question. Should I do Dynasty rookie rankings tomorrow or draft recap tomorrow? I'll check the chat later. Guys, I have to tell you that we've got to be done here. And if you haven't thumbed it up, like, I don't know what to tell you. Let's do it. I'm out. I'm tired. I'm going to go and get something. I was going to say something rude because I'm a bit tired. So I'm just going to be loose as now. But I can't be that loose. Maybe I can be. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.